Hello, everyone. My name is Katy, and welcome to the Greenland Quilter. And looks like I'm the only one sitting in here right now. So, where is everyone at? Where are you? You guys are normally sitting camped out in my channel. Did I do something wrong? Hello, where are you? This is disturbing. Anyone out there? Hello, where are you? Um, this is very strange. Hey, Robin. I was beginning to get worried here and think no one was coming. It's strange when you start your live and no one's sitting in your chat. Actually, it's very strange. Hey, Cindy. Hello, Dre. New name for you. I'm Dre. It's good to see you. Hey, Lee. It's good to see you too. I'm Lee. Do you do lives? If you do, when is your usual lives? I've kind of forgotten to ask you that. And if you have a channel, don't forget you can type exclamation selfie to share your channel. Or if you are already in the bot, you know what to use. Um, I'm okay. Hi, Helen. I'm going to talk to y'all about what happened to me for one thing, and also what's going on because I promised I would update you guys on what the doctors are saying right now about my other issues. Some of parts of it I'll talk to you about, and other parts I'm not going to talk about, because it's kind of hard to give a good explanation on why I don't want to talk about parts of it and why I'm fine talking about other parts of it. Um, some of it I don't need to talk about just yet because I need to see where it's going to go. That's the best answer I can give. But I will let you know where we are on what I have already let you in on, and we will talk about that in a few minutes. And Robin says, I don't know either, had to go out and come back in. Hi, Helen. It's good to see you. Yeah, so I'm kind of waiting for people to drift in so I don't have to repeat myself. Hey, Linda. She says, hi, everyone. Good to see you back, Katy, and hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better. Let me tell you what, I don't wish that on anyone what happened. I am serious. I don't think I think this is the first time ever in my 64 years of living on this planet to have food poisoning. And it it was a struggle, especially because I was here by myself and I had no control over what was happening to me. None. Zero zip nada. I couldn't even function. All I could do is be in the bed, run to the bathroom, be in the bed, run to the bathroom. I mean, absolutely. And every time I would take a sip of water, that even made me sick. So, yeah. Uh, Basically, I know it was food poisoning because the only thing I ate that day was something that I ordered delivered to my house. It was the only thing I ate that day. And a couple hours after I ate what I ordered, I didn't feel very good. In fact, when I was doing my live on Sunday, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Sunday I ordered food in between whatever it was I was doing that morning and before Sherry's live. I ordered it early in the afternoon. It was like, I don't know, 1 o'clock. And I had eaten lunch because I knew I might not have time because I had back to back, I had Sherry, and then it was going to be Peace of Mind mending, or mending pieces, Peace of Mind. Behind that, I knew I would not have time to eat anything, so I ordered delivery. And like I said, I ate the hamburger. It was just a hamburger with there's sauce and some mayonnaise, some homemade mayonnaise that apparently they make their own mayonnaise, and some sweet onions that they pickle. Normally I don't eat them on the hamburger, but I asked for that along with some mayonnaise because I was out of mayonnaise in the refrigerator, and French fries, the usual thing I order from them. And I guarantee what was out of the ordinary that I ordered from them was asking them to put mayonnaise on my hamburger along with the sweet pickles. Normally I don't eat either one because half the time I don't like them, put it that way. And so I don't know why I changed my mind and had it done. Maybe that was what poisoned me, or the burger itself was what poisoned me. I don't know because it didn't taste bad. I mean, I didn't get, normally if you're going to eat something spoiled, you usually can taste it, but this didn't taste spoiled. So I don't know what the heck. So probably it's been mishandled meat. It was either the beef or it was either the mayonnaise, one of the two, because when you make homemade mayonnaise, you use eggs, and maybe they mishandled the egg, maybe they mishandled the process. I don't know. Or maybe they made the mayonnaise the day before and it had spoiled. Who knows? All I know is I paid the price for my indulgence. So it made me really, really sick. So that's why I ended up bowing out on both Sherry, because by the time Sherry's live started, I really did not feel good. It hadn't hit me yet. I just was achy and I felt like I had a fever. I didn't know what to make of what was going on with me. And then about halfway through Sherry's thing, I started getting sick, and that meant I needed to get a hold of Danny and Myra and tell them, hey, can you run the live? Because there was no way I was running it. And but I couldn't bring myself to cancel the live because I had already moved the live and someone that needed it most got left out, and I didn't know she had just lost her daughter, and I felt so guilty about that. And I put it in both Danny's and Myra's lap and said, hey, can you handle this? And I'll watch in the background. Some of you heard my voice in the background two or three times while I was laying in bed dealing with all this stuff. And I appreciate all of you who attended the Mending Pieces Peace of Mind and didn't walk out because I wasn't there. Myra and Danny can more than handle this program that we've all done together for the last year and some odd months now. And I didn't want someone to miss out on a chance to talk because I felt so bad about Andrea, and that's who I'm talking about. Andrea needed to talk, and I had already canceled the live I postponed it, and I was unaware of what was happening in her personal life, and I didn't know it was catastrophic. And when I found out what it was about, it really, really bothered me because I didn't mean to do that, and I know I can't help everyone when I need to help everyone, but I really felt bad about it. And so that's why I decided to ask Myra and Danny if they would handle it, and they said yes, so they did. And so you guys didn't see me on I think I tried to peek in on a couple of lives, and I just didn't even have the strength to say much of anything in the chat. So I turned the TV on and I watched everybody's live on the TV while I slept in between that and doing what was going on. So it was definitely food poisoning. Okay, now let me see how many's in here, and then we'll talk about what me and the doctor talked about. I can update you on that as well because I have some encouraging news concerning doctor's appointments. All right, let me backtrack and catch up on everybody. Let's see. Cindy says, please feel free to share anything or nothing at all, no pressure. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to share quite a bit, but there's a couple things I'm going to leave out of the discussion for later. And I will, when I'm ready to talk about the other part of it, it'll probably be about 6 months down the road, more than likely, because that will be enough time to see what's going to happen of what they're going to do. And there's no sense of talking about it till I know that something positive is going to come of it. Lisa says, oh my God, Katy, food poisoning is not to be messed with. Thank heavens you're okay. Let me tell you what, I would not wish this on anyone, period. Even an enemy, I would not. It is debilitating, and it take, in my age, it's crazy. If I was in the United States, I'd have been calling a doctor asking for Phenergan, and at least it would have slowed this part up. But yeah, you go with what you have and you do what you can. Let's see, Jess is in here. Hey, girl, it's good to see you. Hi, Lisa, it's good to see you too. Hello, Scrappy Crafter. She says, so happy you're sitting on the toilet with a bucket under your face. Is not, you are so right, because I was barfing in the garbage can sitting on the toilet. That's exactly what I was doing. It was not a picnic. And the dog is looking at me like, what's wrong with you, Mom? She was so attentive, you guys. She wouldn't leave me alone. She kept like trying to be up against me. And every time I moved, she would jump off the bed and follow me. She didn't know what was wrong with me, but she knew I was not well. Cindy says, yeah, Jess, retired teacher here. Oh, Katy, so sorry you experienced that. And then Jess says, so sorry, Katy. I'm glad you're feeling better today. So I am feeling better today. I felt more rested yesterday, so I don't know why I feel a little tired today, but maybe, I don't know, because I was up this morning trying to find out about getting some medicine filled. Okay, what did the doctor and I talk about this past meeting? Okay, I now have an appointment to see an ears, nose, and throat doctor. So I'm going on my trip to Denmark. As y'all know, we fly out on June the 21st and we return on July the 5th. And then around the appointment is July the 27th in Nuuk, which means either a day before or a couple days before that appointment, I will get airplane tickets from the hospital to fly me to Nuuk to see ears, nose, and throat doctor. So that is progress. And that is because, so here, one of the plans of attack here currently is that because my pulmonary issues are worsening, and there's nothing they can do to stop this progression, none. But what they can do is be proactive and deal with existing things that's adding to my breathing problems, such as all this mess with me. And so I'll be seeing a specialist. There's the other thing they're going to be doing that I'm not going to talk about right now that's going to be handled, and we'll see how that goes for the next 6 months. And after 6 months, I might be more open to talk about it, but for right now, I'm not going to talk about it. But it's something that's supposed to hopefully it's not going to fix my lung problems. That's not what it's going to do, but it will ease it so that we can keep me moving forward instead of being a setback because of my lungs. When I told you guys that I was a lifelong asthmatic, which means, I'm a born asthmatic, I wasn't joshing about that. And I have had to fight to breathe my whole life. And anyone who doesn't understand that, just put a pillow on your face, you'll find out, because that's the way it feels. I mean, we can breathe air in, but we cannot breathe air out. And so that leaves you feeling like you're suffocating. And if your bronchial tubes close completely up, you're in trouble. And so, and because my lungs have been damaged by 7 times of having pneumonia, because of the fact that I'm prone to catching influenza, even though I'm vaccinated for it. But see, the thing with vaccinations is it's not to stop you from catching something, it's to stop you from being hospitalized. And I didn't start doing flu vaccines until after my second bout with pneumonia. And that's when the doctor started talking to me about doing flu vaccines. They also incorporated in the vaccine a pneumonia vaccine. But when I moved to Greenland, there was no such thing as a pneumonia vaccination at the time. When I talked to the doctor this past Wednesday, and I asked him, oh crap, I need to find out when they're going to do that. He did state that they can use what they call a broad spectrum pneumonia vaccination that lasts about 6 years. And that can also, the few times I've done the flu or the pneumonia one, I didn't have pneumonia. Even when I got sick with influenza, I didn't switch right up or end up right over into pneumonia, because the influenza is what causes my pneumonia, and my asthma just gets exacerbated by the pneumonia. And pneumonia is when you get fluid in your lungs, and it just increases the inability to get oxygen to the rest of your body, including your brain. So yeah, so that's the update of where I'm at. As we meet each other, my next appointment, I think, is sometime next month. And once we get all this stuff lined up and everything's the way it should be and everything settles down a little bit, then they'll start dealing with my other. I have a feeling what's going to happen is when I go to Nuke, when they have me actually there physically in Nuke, they can deal with my other issues, like my pain, the shifting of my spine, and the extra things that are showing up due to both of those prolapse disc in the lower lumbar of my hips. And so they'll probably deal with all that when I come, because that's usually how they do it. Once you go to Nuke, they do everything at once, and you may spend more than one day. They'll check me into the patient hotel. I won't have to be put in the hospital. And they'll do everything where I'll get a schedule and say I need to be at this appointment at this part of the hospital, and the hospital's connected to the patient hotel. And yeah, and they'll feed me. They feed us. They pick us up at the airport. When it's time to go home, they take us back to the airport and put us on an airplane. The flights to and fro are paid for by the government through our healthcare system. All of this is done through our healthcare system. We don't have to pay for anything. And my medicine's not paid for. The test is not paid for. Everything they do is part of the Greenland healthcare system. Anyone have any questions about the healthcare stuff? Because then we're going to move on to something else. And if anyone wants to come sit on the panel with me, please do, because I don't like being by myself right now. Y'all got quiet. I'm sorry if I talked your ears off. I hope I didn't bore anyone or run anyone off. Anyone have any questions you want to ask about any of this before we move on to what I'm going to do while I'm waiting to see if you have any questions? I'm going to continue on with Katie's Creative Chaos. I was supposed to do Katie Says, but I didn't do any prep. So we're going to do Katie's Says tomorrow on that live. Tomorrow, oh my God. Speaking of tomorrow is triple play again. It'll be me, Mona, William. All right. I don't know how many are going to be on my live tomorrow. It probably be the same amount of things, but I will tell you that Thomas is going to come sit on the live with us tomorrow, my son. And we all know how quiet and introverted he is. So those of you that are on the panel, I hope one of y'all might get him to open up a little bit, get him talking anyway, so that he can get used to, this will be his third time on the live because he's practicing right now. So you'll probably see Blaze somewhere in the middle of all that. Send me a link, Katie. I'm just sewing. I can come on for you. Okay, I'll do that. Let me get that for you. So he will be on the live along with Mona. Everybody that got invited, this was on last week's live, should be on this week's live, unless something happens that they can't make it for whatever reason. But as far as I know, they plan on being on the panel. So y'all, those of you who are coming on the panel, help us make Thomas feel comfortable. Everybody will get to say hi to Blaze. And yeah, he is now finished with the 4th grade, you guys. He has completed his 4th grade year of school. All right, let me find Facebook so I can send just a. All right, let me see here. Where? Oh, there you are. Okay, if anyone else wants to hop on this live, just let me know. Feel free, and I'll make sure you get on here. Okay. Katy, you are never boring. Okay. And Nina says you can't run me off. Okay, good. Because I know that sometimes when you're talking about personal things, people don't want to hear it. And I don't air it out every day, but I'm pretty transparent about my life because I don't think that I don't have to tell you every little secret, but I feel like if I'm transparent, that helps you see me for who I am and not someone else. And Cindy says, wishing you a solid path to feeling better, Katy. So glad you're seeking further support and help. And Sherry, I'm doing better. Definitely better today and yesterday. Man, boy, what a life wrecker. And Nina says, you can't run me off. And Dubrovka says, Katy, you're never boring. Glad you're feeling better. And Jess says, uh-oh, that just went fast. Where'd it go? And I sent a link, and I did that. Raven says, the guys just did an adult child swap on my son. The guys just did the adult child swap, so my son is home for summer now. All right, Raven. Hey, Deb, welcome, welcome. This chat keeps trying to fly by before I can say anything. All right, we're moving along slower. Hey, Lori, it's good to see you also. And then Lisa says, time to show Katy a little love with some thumbs up. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, and I want to do a disclaimer concerning this poll. Yeah, I bet some are questioning why I used that one. Okay. I have stated before that I get an email every day with a new word in it, and then I answer the question. Actually, I got this one right, but I guessed because I can't remember if I've seen that word before or not. And y'all, it's hilarious how you say it. But anyway, make sure you vote. Yeah, so it's what does kakistocracy mean? And I just butchered that badly. Does it mean aristocracy? Ooh, I can't even say it. Help me out here, Jess.
Hold on, I'm still trying to get myself together. What did I do? Oh, there you are.
I can say the other ones, but for some weird reason, when it comes to aristocratic stuff, it's hard to say when it's that got that crazy on the end of it.
I don't have the chat up, but you said aristocrat?
Yeah, it's aristocrat.
All right, hold on.
I don't know. Number 2 is democracy. Number 3 is government by the worst. And then number 4 is meritocracy. See, I don't say either one of those correctly.
How dare you put something up? No, that is tongue tying like that.
Both of them are tongue tying. Anyway, yeah, so y'all vote on that, and then we'll talk about the word and the meaning. And I definitely gonna go look up the one that's number 4 because I kind of sort of remember what it is, but I don't remember what it is. So I'll probably pick that one up so we can learn another word besides the one that we're voting on right now. Yeah, because it's another one of those words that you're like, what does that mean? So yeah, don't vote, don't go look it up because we will be discussing it.
We don't cheat around here.
Yeah, no cheating. This is supposed to be fun. So if you get it wrong, it's no big deal. Let me tell you what, I've told you when I've gotten them wrong. I got today wrong because I just guessed. I mean, I got today right, but I guessed. I really didn't know the meaning of it. So just putting that out there.
Oh, yeah. When I don't know the answers to your stuff, I just go boop, and half the time I'm wrong. But I'm like,
sometimes you guess right. And some, you only have 50-50 chance of losing. You know what I mean? Will there
No,
be a test later?
absolutely.
Lisa, I haven't
Rated.
thought about using cool vocabulary words as a way of giving away gift cards.
Yeah,
Um,
there'll be extra credit given later too.
that's right. They will be extra credit later. I want to talk to you about something else that I've been thinking about. I haven't given anything away that I have made as a gift, as a drawing gift.
Yeah.
And most of you have seen, um, in fact, I made more than one of these and gave them away, actually. I think this might be number three, I think maybe the third time I've been making this. I've been thinking about, when I get back from Denmark, I was thinking about making maybe about 10 of these little cuties
Oh,
and
I love that.
giving them away either if I can get them done before my 3rd year anniversary of when I dropped my first live in September. If I can get 10 of these done by then, or maybe even 5, and then save the other 5 for New Year's Eve. Besides gift cards, I can give these away, and they'll be personalized because they'll have a quilt label with my name on it. I might do all of them in batiks, although I know some of you are not batik lovers, but it's kind of me. So it would be something I may. It's not going to be this color, of course, because not everybody likes purple. So I'm going to make them all bright and happy and yummy. And then I'll give them away. It's a little wall hanging that it won't take up too much space on your wall. What do y'all think about this little giveaway? What do you think about this idea for a giveaway? Do y'all like that? Because if you do, that's what I was thinking about doing, something that would be made by me. I put the love in the middle like I always do, because I just can't help but share the love. And yeah. Yeah, Raven, some people don't. It will be whatever I put on the backing, though, will be cotton. I don't use batiks on the back. And I will give an idea of how to wash this. I don't know why you'd wash a wall hanging, but some people might. But it'll be hand quilted, or it'll be machine quilted on my machine. And yeah, and I thought, maybe, what do y'all think? Would y'all like that as a giveaway? Let me know in the chat, yes or no.
Oh, I'll be the first one to answer.
Let's see what. Yeah, because I can't make 2 polls at once. That won't let me do that.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Do you like that idea? Because I can give a few in September and then give some more on the 12-hour New Year's Eve live.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, and they're very easy. They don't take me very long to do the piecing part of it.
No.
The quilting takes the longest, but if I make multiple of them and then quilt them back to back, get that done, and then that just leaves binding.
Exactly.
Hi, Sheila. It's good to see you. Hi, Janet. Welcome. And Janet, yeah, I need be right back.
Oh. But yes, I like it. So it's like this from a seed company. That's from Lori Holt. It's a Lori Holt pattern. That's what she's doing. A little over a year ago, I did it with Katy live, and mine was red, and it was so pretty. I probably have a picture of it somewhere. I no longer have it. I gave it away. So I just feel like I'm right up on the screen today. That's okay though. But isn't it so pretty? Absolutely. And just think, you could also, grab one of those Lori Holt seed kits and put pretty much any small word in there. So She has a 3-letter word, love, but just think of like joy, and like you can make mine look like a poinsettia because it was yellow in the middle and red on the outside, and you could put like joy there or something like that. That would be really cool. So
yeah, there's all kinds of. I did pay for a PDF for some text, and there was like 3 different sizes. So I'm probably going to play around with them too, because like she just mentioned, you can stick joy in the middle of it. Some of us, if you really wanted to get fancy and decided you like that particular flower, you can make a flower where it has laugh on it, or live, laugh, love, and dream, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be harder to stick the word dream and laugh in that space, I think. But you get the idea. You can always put like love right there, and then put live, laugh, love, and down at the bottom, dream.
Yeah. And another idea, if you're not really big into that, but you can applique, you can take words and put them up on a window and trace it onto your fabric, cut it out, and then glue, like use that fabric. What am I trying to think of? Bonding. Oh no, I'm like heating bond or something like that, and put it like the light, putting it on the, and then just applicating onto the letters. That would be really cool too.
Yep. Yep.
Well, if you can
I
find.
don't know what. I'm one of these people that feels like empty space needs to have something stuck in it. I'm starting to appreciate the idea of the negative space, but still there are times when I'm like, oh, I really don't want to leave that square in the middle of this block. I want to put some right smack dab in the middle of it, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, lady.
Hi, Lainey.
Is everybody saying yes or no to my question? Janet says yes, yes. I see yes from Sherry. Yes from Jess. Okay. All right. So I thought that would be a cool idea. Also, one of these days we're going to get around and do a sew along using that love block. We're going to make something super cute. Look what came in the mail. Janet. So I had mail sitting in my mailbox since Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, Monday. But I was too sick to even leave the house. So I had a package from Janet, and the only reason I'm telling you who it is because her husband made me this beautiful seam ripper stiletto, but they also made something else. And I was helping Janet learn how to FPP, and we still got to do the snail trail. I haven't done that yet because I keep forgetting to order the darn paper. But now there's an excuse to spend money at Fat Quarter Shop because Fat Quarter Shop's doing 30% off and some other stuff due to memorial stuff. So y'all need to go check them out and see if there's anything that they put on sale that they're clearancing out. You might find something you want. So just saying. Anyway, so this was special made because I asked if there was any way they could take this handle, the weight, because I like the weight, and make me a crochet hook kit.
Oh, well.
And Janet talked to her honey, and he said yes. And I'm not going to read the note that she wrote to me. That's between us. But I am going to show you what they sent me. Look at it came in a little box. Isn't that cool? Wait, this is even better. Check this out. It's got a sleeve on the box. You take the sleeve off, then you get a fancy box. I did not even expect that. So I'm going to spotlight the camera above so you guys can see this beautiful crochet hook set. And I hope it's okay to say something about it, Janet. I forgot to ask. Hey, Denise. Okay, so let's have a look at this as soon as I remember how to open it. I was having trouble figuring out how to... I'm hilarious. I cracked myself up. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. It's hard to tell because it's a dark box. All right, let's spotlight. And I'm going to turn this light on so y'all can see if I don't blind myself in the process. That's better. Okay. Let's spotlight this. So like I said, it came in this really nice box. And when you open it, this is what you get.
Oh, wow.
So we have this really these two beautiful handles. And if they're just like the seam ripper, they have the thing where you can interchange the hooks. And then they sent me a hook that the biggest one is a I think this one's a 5.0 millimeter. Hang on a minute. I'm probably not getting it out of the you know what? I'm gonna do it like this. It'll probably stretch as I use it more. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna push them through so I can grab them. Okay, so there is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 sizes. This one is a 5 millimeter. I can tell by just looking at it. Right here in the engravings, I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me get up close to the camera. It tells you what size that is. Come on, camera, focus.
Oh, no, you can see it. 5 millimeter.
Yeah, so it's 5 millimeter. It also tells you it's an H. And so all you do is you slip it into the handle here. Crochet hook. And it has just enough weight that is comfortable. It's not as light as a bamboo, which is what I was after. I wanted a little more substance because sometimes when things are really lightweight, you tend to grip them harder.
Yeah.
Jenny says she doesn't know anything about crocheting. So this is a 5 millimeter. This one is a 4 millimeter, which is G.
Yeah.
Those who crochet know what this information means. This one is a 3.75, which is an F. Then we have one that is a 3.25. And when we were talking, she asked me what sizes that I tend to use the most. And the sizes that I'm listing are the ones I generally do use the most as far as size-wise. Then there is a 3. That one should have been right here. That's a 3.50. You're probably like, well, why didn't you just get whole sizes? Whole sizes don't always necessarily are not necessarily feasible. It depends on you, the crocheter. Because I use number 3 yarn, I tend to crochet between see, this one is a 2.75, but then this one here is a 3.25. So a lot of times if I feel like this is too small, I'll switch up I'll switch up a size. So I did, because the 3.0 is really close to a 2.70, but if I skip the 3.0 and move to a 3.25, that usually is good enough. And that gives you a chance but the only way you know what you prefer is if you're an earlier crocheter. I always recommend everyone, when you're first starting to crochet, start out with a 5.0 millimeter hook. That's what I started out on when I was 11 years old. This is the most manageable size. You can use worsted yarn. You can use worsted cotton yarn, like the Lilies and Cream one. Now, do I use a 5.0 millimeter now on the Lilies and Cream? No, I switched down to a 4 because I prefer a tighter stitch. But you can actually use this 5 point for that same yarn, depending on if you're a tight crocheter or if you're a loose crochet. You have to do what's comfortable for you. But this is fantastic, you guys. And Janet, tell your husband thank you from the bottom of my heart. Y'all stepped up and you made it happen, because I've always wanted to have something with a little substance, and I had been looking for new bamboo hooks. This is the bamboo that I use right here. It has a Bates, and it's called Susan Bates hooks on it with the bamboo on the bottom, but apparently these are no longer made. And somewhere along the line, I have some missing out of my set. And it's probably because Katy left it at somebody's house and then forgot about leaving it there. And then when I tried to go find it, I couldn't find it. I didn't realize I had left it somewhere. So I asked about whether this could be done, and she talked to her husband, and her husband said, yeah, this can be accomplished. And here we are. I have me a nice little crochet hook set with different sizes, and there we go.
Oh, I love it.
And,
I love it.
And Janet says, you made it happen for me and FPP. I took time. So Janet wanted to learn how to do FPP, and she was struggling with the FPP. And we took time out of both our days, and we got together on a private Zoom, and I walked her step by step on how to do the Woven Star FPP. I didn't charge her any money. I didn't want it. I didn't want any money or nothing. I was just doing it because I love doing it.
Yeah.
And talking about crochet hooks, because and she will tell you, she will verify this. I told her I would pay for this. I'm that way. I didn't want anything for free or anything else. You guys are the best group of people I have ever met in my life.
Oh.
Now I'm going to cry.
No, Katy, you have built up such a wonderful community over here. You really have.
I am so thankful for all of you, because
yeah.
y'all, when I get sick and I can't do a live, no one gets mad and stops watching me. And I kind of freaked out when I first brought the live up tonight because no one was there. Then I didn't know what to say to that, But this is so beautiful, and I appreciate. Tell your husband thank you, Janet. Tell him, and thank you too, Janet, both of you, for doing this. I appreciate it so much. And here I got 2 handles. Yeah. So this is the little cute set. And look at this. You could pack it up, put it in a carry-on, and go on an airplane with it. Not a bit of problem at all.
You better not lose a single one of those.
No, I won't, because these are precious cargo. That's right.
We're going to put air tags on them.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you again for this.
Yeah.
But I wanted to share it because, I told her husband should go into business doing this.
Exactly. Look how beautiful that set was.
This is talent.
Exactly.
I've seen these seam ripper. See, because this has 2 sides on this one. You can put stiletto on one side here, and then on the other side is the seam ripper. Now, I've seen seam rippers up at QuiltCon and a couple other places. And the only reason I didn't invest in or even try to buy one is when I went up and saw the price of it. I'm like, oh, wait, I'm going to walk away. But
$40 for a seam ripper, it's really hard to justify that in our brains.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, would I've eventually done it? Yeah, probably.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But when I mentioned about I wanted a smaller, I don't know what you call this part of the seam ripper right here, the part that rips the seam. I wanted a small tip. Okay. I don't like the big bulky ones because they don't slide up underneath a seam that's like 1.80. The bigger one won't slide up under the seam right without you ripping the fabric. And this here will slide right up underneath and you don't have to do any forcing at all. And she found the right size tip for this. And when I got it, I couldn't believe it because first thing I noticed was the weight.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally do not have to hold this tight. It is truly an amazing instrument. What happened? Sheila says, I had a message that had an error. Okay. Anyone else having issues with chat error and out? I hope not. Try going in and back out. Sometimes the internet, I don't know, YouTube too.
Yeah.
Weird things.
Welcome to life.
Yeah, sometimes things happen with YouTube.
Reset and start again.
Oh, I didn't put that down there right. That's why. Ah, there we go. I can see the little indentation now. So anyway, from the bottom of my heart, Janet, thank you. But I have another thing to teach her. I'm going to teach her how to do the snail trail.
Yes, that would be, that's an awesome
I got to order the paper so I can teach. All I have is the really big ones for the dragon fruit, and I think I only have one sheet of that humongous one. And I think she's Janet, you have the 6-inch one, right? Let me know. Hey, Lynn, it's good to see you. Katy, I was here, but having issues with the chat. I was getting errors. Okay. I hope it's okay now. All right. So what I'm going to work on tonight is more hourglasses. More hourglasses. Am I going to be sick of hourglasses pretty soon? You bet I am.
No, never.
There's so many of them I got to make. But we're going to get Katy, despite this illness, I am going to get that quilt top done one way or the other.
Yeah.
You know the song, One Way or Another.
We're going to find.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I need to get my cup. I realized I didn't bring it in here.
Oh, I really enjoy hourglasses too. So I'm glad that you're getting that top done. Raven asked earlier, but yes, I'm working on the Bargello quilt, quilt top. So right now I'm just piecing all of the strips together so I can go ahead and cut it all up and make that wonderful design. I kind of get brain blocked because I really want like it to be like a wow factor, but after much talking and having a little bit of conversation, I think we're just going to do a standard Bargello. So a swirl here or there.
Did you find a pattern?
No, nothing that I enjoyed that would go with the 24 pieces that I have.
So that's why I haven't done one. I can't find a pattern that talks to me.
Yeah, so I'm just going to create my own curve to it. And so we'll just go.
I can't wait to see how that goes.
Yeah, we're going to be organic. I like organic.
And I'm going to be rude and blow my nose.
Oh, you're good. I'm going to make a dress out of my half and then a jacket back out of the other half.
So Jess, since you mentioned that, every time I think about people talking about taking a Bargello and turning it into a dress or a jacket, there was a time when I was a teenager, after we got into church, and we were making our own clothes. I don't remember exactly what period in time it was, but everywhere you went, women had dresses that had bees going down like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the front and on the back. It was an actual pattern that you bought directional fabric with.
Okay.
And just about, it was a trend, seriously. Yeah. And whenever I hear that, it brings memories back of when I made me one of those kind of skirts. And then after I made it, I'm like, I must be insane.
Oh, no,
I didn't even, I'm like, why did I do that? Because I thought it was, it was interesting.
Yeah. Have I ever shown you my Bargello? I have a Bargello dress already.
I saw that. Yeah. And that's why it brought back memories of when I used to actually make these V's in a skirt, Oh,
yeah. It's got to make you look smaller. That's how I feel. The V is real.
You know what I loved making the most, though, is I love buying denim and making myself wrap around denim skirts. Because I liked that. I was one of these girls that liked flary dresses, flary skirts that would, there was something about the edge of the skirts always touching the back of my calves. They were delicious to me. And I can't explain why that is. Because we weren't allowed to have our skirts above the knee. It had to be just below the knee or it could be longer. And I didn't want longer because I couldn't stand those long ones. So I would put it right at the border of where it was pushing the limit, And so whenever I make a wraparound skirt, you could really feel the flow of that skirt because it's just a big, huge C with a waistline or waistband on it with long ties that go feed through the waistline. And when you wrap the whole skirt around, then you tie it. And I was always wearing skirts like that because I just loved the way they were. Hey,
Yeah,
Mona.
hi, Mona. I thought
See,
about
Mona
making
said
a
she
wrap,
used
but
to love the wraparound skirts too. Yeah, anything the flairier the better. I loved it. The other thing that I loved making myself was 8 gore skirts. So what it is you have the the skirt, you have the waistband, but then you go about this particular pattern I had. You would go about 5 inches below the waistline, and you would put in pleats that would go
oh,
so many inches down, and
yeah.
then it would open up to create that gore. And I
Right.
always would make an 8 gore one. So when I walked around, all you saw was this little flaring sashaying thing going on.
Oh, I thought that was so pretty.
And
Yes.
I made it in the one I made that really people were like, why did you use that? Because I bought some it was cotton. It wasn't broadcloth. I want to say it was gabardine, maybe. I don't know. It was a heavier cotton and stiff. And I made the skirt, and I made myself this very professional office jacket to go with it. So you wore a fancy little blouse up underneath it, and that's what I go to church in. And it was one of those royal blue colors. I had interesting taste back then. Mona says mine were straight, long with a slit up the leg. Yep, I never would go with a slit because I was worried I'd get nailed by the preacher. Or my dad. No, my dad was worse than the preacher was about that stuff. You're not show your leg or don't show your arms.
Yes. Some places are like that.
You must be very modest.
Oh, hi, Annette. How are you? Welcome in.
Hey there, Annette. She says, hi, Katy, and hi, Jess. All right. So anyway, that's where I am on. Now we're going to make hourglass blocks. So I'm just going to lay these on top of each other, and we're just going to start sewing. Now that I've burned up the airways a little bit. I'm excited about my trip to Denmark. I got some more. Nikolai contacted, well, first of all, yesterday, because I was feeling better, I had to contact Air Greenland because we had to deal with the elephant in the room. And some of you are going to be like, what are you talking about? Okay. Some know about this, some don't. I have to be medicated to fly, not because of flying. Flying in an airplane is not the problem. Flying with people is. And so I had to call Air Greenland so that we could because when we bought my ticket, we couldn't sign up for assigned seats, which was strange because normally you can pick your own seats. So I told Nikolai, I said, what are we going to do about it? He says, well, we got to see because he didn't know what he had for seat numbers either. So what I did is I called Air Greenland yesterday and we talked on the phone, and they got everything set up so that we are on the side of the airplane that has 2 seats, a window seat, and then the aisle seat. So there's only 2 people on that row, which will be me and him. And all we needed to do was because Nikolai's ticket was done through the company that he works for, the people who handle that had to be contacted. So Nikolai wrote them an email and says, I need to just change my seat. And he gave the seat numbers because I gave them to Nikolai. Last night, I got a text message saying, he says, honey, it's done. We will be side by side on the airplane. And the only other thing we had to discuss was putting me on the airplane before everybody else, which they have other people they put on the airplane ahead of everybody else. People who are going to the doctor, they get on the airplane first. So I'll be boarding with them. And so that's been took care of. And then he also told me that he finally heard from his dad, and we will be staying with his dad for about 4 days. So I'm excited about that. And things are falling into place. We got all our lodgings all worked out. The only thing left to do is for me to figure out how to navigate renting a car, because I've never actually rented the car. I've driven a rental car through his company, but the company told him y'all rent your own car.
Okay.
So I have never done that before, so that's going to be a first time for me doing. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll get it done, especially when you get there. I mean, the biggest thing is they're going to ask you, like, probably like how much insurance or something that you want on it, and just to make sure that it gets back in time. And yeah.
Well, don't they tell you how much insurance they're going to put on it or what?
Well, you can choose to up it if you want. You can just do the standard insurance. Like since because I know you don't own a vehicle, so you already don't have vehicle insurance. But when I travel, I can use my vehicle insurance to cover when I rent a car. When I'm out and about, so I don't have to add that extra on.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just research the type of vehicles that they have at that airport with the rental place that you're looking at going to.
Well, I was thinking about trying to get a mini SUV hybrid.
Yeah.
That way I can save on fuel since fuel's astronaut, you know.
Oh yeah. It's there. It's real.
Yeah, and I figured a hybrid would keep the gas mileage down, so or make it more affordable anyway. And I have nothing against a hybrid, so I think they're kind of cool because they charge while you're driving it.
That's so true. I almost got a hybrid, well, back in like 2001, but then I didn't go through with it. But
if you buy a new hybrid, you know, like if you buy a car new, it's worth the money to spend on the hybrid. The thing is when I was helping Thomas make a choice of what kind of car he wanted, we did look at some hybrids. But the couple that we looked at, the car was 10 years old, and I asked the dude, I said, what happens if the battery dies in this hybrid because it's already been used for 10 years? And he said, and when he told me, it floored me. Do you know the replacement of a battery in a hybrid costs more than what the car is probably worth?
Of course.
Isn't it insane?
It's ridiculous. Absolutely.
And I'm like, wait, and I'm like, you're telling me that because cars depreciate, that if you replace a battery in a car, and this car we were looking at was a one owner car, it had never been sold to anyone else. It was a little old lady that had been driving it, so it didn't hardly have any mileage on it for a 10-year-old car. When I heard how much a battery replacement would cost, I'm like, no. I told Thomas, nope, this is not a good idea.
No. And they can be higher maintenance too than what we typically think at the moment, especially as they get older. There's still so much more technology that needs to be, you know, done with them because they're still, if you think about it, it's still brand new to the economy itself. So, yeah. We shall see.
Hey, Jennifer, it's good to see you. And Mona switched devices.
Oh, cool.
And it says, oh, Katie, what a blessing that it all fell into place. Yep, the only obstacle right now is trying to figure out how my dog is going to travel.
In your arms. You're going to love it. You need a baby Bjorn. I always thought about this. Okay. Seriously, a baby Bjorn, you hold. Nikolai can do it. He can strap her in. He can cut her and love on her and go, it's okay, baby. He'll keep her calm. But no, she'll probably have to go in a bag of some sort and just be put underneath the seat in front of you. That's what I see.
Weight loss is working.
Yeah.
She's not happy, but it's working.
So has she ever been in a carrier before?
Yeah, she was in a carrier when I got her from the airport, and she flew in the carrier in underneath the seat during the flight. At some point, though, if I remember right, she was whining a little bit, and I asked her because she was so new, we were so new to each other. I asked the lady if I could take her out just to settle her a little bit, and she says, "Okay, but if she gets loose, it's on you." I'm like,
yeah, don't let her go. But yeah, I see a lot of dogs traveling now. So many dogs.
Have you seen standard Dachshunds in the plane cart or in the front cabin?
I've seen Yorkies. I've
Well,
seen.
they're tiny dogs.
They are.
Dachshund's not tiny.
I've seen the largest one I've seen a beagle. So, and that's a
Oh,
little
well,
probably
that's about
larger
the
than her.
same size as her then.
Yeah, she's long legs, so it's probably just definitely taller than she is. But
Yeah.
how big
I
is
thought
she?
I'd ask my boss about it because she had she by what is- it's a it's the new, what do they call it in Europe? It's a Cocker Spaniel, but it's a different kind of Cocker Spaniel. It's the new sporting Cocker Spaniel. That's what they're called, I think.
Yeah.
They're more uh, athletic.
Okay.
But her male is not small. And so I know they've been flying with him. So I'm wondering if they've been flying in the cabin with him or have they been putting him in the cargo hold?
I know that when Tammy flies with her dog, he goes up underneath the seat in front of her.
That big dog?
Yeah, he can pretty much, he can start wrapping up underneath. I mean, he comes out underneath her feet, but yeah, he can lay up underneath the seat and then forward.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I think that you'll be fine. Definitely be fine.
Yeah, because I have the carrier, the legal one that you use for flying. That I used for Ichi, but Ichi was smaller. But that crate, that legal thing that I flew with, she should be able to fit in that with no trouble.
Yeah.
And then during the flight, I can open up the top where she can stick her head out.
Oh, definitely. She'll want that. She'll want to feel comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I'd take her red rubber balls to kind of distract her, and then I need to figure out what kind of treat, because you can't have raw food on the airplane, so I have to figure that too.
How long is
the better? Huh?
How long is the flight for?
The flight from Nuuk to Copenhagen is 4 hours.
Okay.
She's going to want to get up in our lap, and that's what I'm worried about. Because she's going to whine. And I told Nikolai, I said, listen here, dude. Don't be getting irritated because she's whining.
And I wouldn't even, as long, are you going to, he's probably going to be by the window.
One of us is going to be by the window. I don't know which one. One of us.
Whoever's by the window, I'd probably just have, that one hold on to her. Just so she doesn't feel the need of, but I'm pretty sure everybody on the plane's not going to mind.
Yeah, because I feel like we'll be able to pull her out enough where she can sit up in the, because the top opens. There's an opening on the top, and she could sit up, and sit. And as long as she stays there, should be fine. So, and it'll be interesting to see how she travels. The other thing I've been thinking about is, I've never, she's been in a car. I mean, she's rode in a taxi cab, and I've been teaching her to sit in the floorboard.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be driving the car, and I have a feeling she's going to think she needs to be in the front seat with Nikolai.
I know it's going to be hard for Dad, but he's just going to have to keep her on the floorboard if that's what you need to drive safely too. So.
Well, yeah, I don't want her up in the seat. He lets her up in his seat, but I don't want her in my seat while I'm driving. No.
Flash would always try to do that.
Yeah. You know how I used to drive Ichi? Well, Ichi was hilarious. Because she was only about 6 weeks old when I got her. I'm trying to keep up with this channel. I'll catch up with the channel in just a minute, you guys. When she was about 6 weeks old, I put her on my arm right here, which would be the door.
Yeah.
I've learned how to ride on my arm whenever I was driving.
Oh, wow.
And that was her parking place.
Yes.
Did you ask if the battery was replaced? I have a Subaru Forester hybrid. Love it. Yes, I did ask that. And no, it hadn't been replaced. And that's when he told me how much it would cost to replace it. And I'm like, no. It was a nice car. It was a Honda. It was a Honda, not Honda. It was a car dealership that makes the Tundra and the other one. Toyota. It was a Toyota Camry something.
Yeah.
It was a nice little 4-door Camry. I mean, it was beautiful. Dehydrated. Yeah, I thought about dehydrated treats like whale meat. I think that would work.
Oh yeah, dehydrated. You could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as everything's underneath 3 ounces in prepackaged. Do you have like a meat, like a sealing thing? What am I trying to think of? Vacuum sealer. Do you have it, or do you know anyone with a
No,
vacuum?
but I could go buy one. They're not that expensive.
No, but I would probably do that and then have pre-portioned.
Yeah, small amounts. Yeah.
Yeah. Like for eggs and all that. Yeah.
And also I'll need to bring like a small portable plastic bowl to feed her water in, and just a little bit at a time. She'll be fine for 4 hours in the air without going to the bathroom, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Because I'll make sure she does all her potty patrol before we get on the plane.
Yeah.
Because she'll have see our flight from here to Nuke will be about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that -8 flight will be very short. And I decided, since we're going to take her in the cabin, I'm not going, only carry-on I'm going to have is my purse.
Yeah.
And everything else is going to go into Nikolai's backpack. This small laptop and battery backups and a hard drive backup and all that stuff. We'll just put in the backpack, and he can deal with all of that.
Just be really careful with batteries. They're trying to go away for those on the airlines.
Yeah, I meant to talk to the lady on Air Greenland what battery would be, because I bought all my batteries here and I've flown with all of them, but now there's such a thing about them now.
Yep.
So, but I do need at least one battery, unless of course, well, now with the A330 Neo, it probably already has USB ports on it. But
Yeah.
that little -8, there's no such thing. Wait a minute, I think I missed something. Terry's, oh, and it says Toyota. Yeah, I was trying to think of that. Used cars are not cheap.
Yeah.
A 10-year-old car costs $12,000.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And I thought when it gets 10 years old, it's hardly worth anything, but apparently not.
Not anymore. No.
So I noticed there's been a couple flies in my house.
Oh, it's starting. Yeah.
Let the insects begin.
Nope.
And I was right. There is a spider in the ceiling.
Oh, no.
So it's like, I need to find me a rolled up newspaper and bam.
Nope. You know how I am with spiders. Nope. Done. No.
I don't like spiders and snakes.
Nope.
And actually, it was funny. I was always scared of snakes. Scared of snakes, but not scared of snakes. It's weird with me. Because I have a funny story to tell you guys. When we lived in Chulioto, my mom and dad had this boxer. The boxer was insane because my dad had to put a chain on him with a 50-pound weight inside a fenced-in dog run because that dog would climb the fence.
Wow.
So he made it so the dog couldn't climb it. So he thought.
Dun, dun, dun. The
Don't climb the fence, chain, weight, and all.
Nope.
And he would go down the road to chase a neighbor's horse. And the neighbor would be madder than hell about it. One day, Dad was out with the dog, and someone distracted him. I don't know, maybe it was one of us. And so Duke ran out of sight, and you can hear him barking, and you're like, what's he barking at? So we all go looking to see what's going on. He is playing with an 8-foot long black garden snake. And that's not an exaggeration about that snake.
Nope.
And that snake was toying with him too. And every afternoon, if Duke could get loose, he'd go down there and run that snake.
Yeah, he knew where that snake lived.
He did.
Nope. I'm glad that we have snakes, because there's things that need to be eaten by snakes.
Yeah, so, Dad didn't kill good. Dad didn't kill good snakes. He left them alone. He said they were good for killing or eating rats and mice and bad snakes.
Like my neighbor, she was like, I'm really sick of bats. I'm going to kill them. I was like, no, you're not. No, I need those bats in my life. So we went and got like a bat house, and we put it up and face it in a certain direction, because I had to do all this research. And then she got one too. And I'm hoping that's where the bats went eventually, because they kept going up underneath the, because she had a brick house, but it was on the north side, so it was a cooler side of the house. But they would go up underneath the window. What I'm trying to think of, the shutters, and yeah. But I'm like, you can't kill animals. No, we need them in our ecosystem.
Yeah. Do you think for one moment that our planet, if most of us believe in God or a higher power or whatever, this planet was set up to operate in a certain way so that everything had a reason for everything? And yes, most of us are like, we don't need bugs, but yes, we do need bugs. Bugs pollinate flowers, and flowers make seeds, and some animals eat other animals to keep the population down, like wolves keep the population down of bison and elk, and all these things. And when you get rid of one thing, it changes the whole ecosystem in an area that could be damaging. So all these things have a purpose. Even the lowliest of things, like a armadillo or a anteater. What's the other one? What's the other one that people dislike so much? Oh, raccoons.
Raccoons, possums. Yeah, I like possums and raccoons too.
They're all here for a reason.
Yeah. They are, definitely.
People in Florida eat coons.
I'm
like, yeah.
My daughter's best friend, her dad goes coon hunting. So sometimes my youngest will go coon hunting in the summer. So she enjoys that. But yeah, it's a way of life. Definitely is.
And someone commented about, let me back this up a little bit. I think it was Annette said it, I think. Let me back up. Oh, no, it was Scrappy Cracker. She says, boxers are very high energy dogs and require lots of playtime and walks. He was a handful. That dog stayed in more trouble than out of trouble.
Yeah.
It was just, they would, and the dog traveled with us from San Diego. So they already had the dog. I don't know how old the dog was by the time we started living in Chuliota, but my dog, my parents didn't get another one. They went into the beagle business. My mom loved beagles, so they started raising beagles.
I had an aunt that raised beagles too.
It's funny, all the things I remember when I was a kid that they used to do. They started out doing beagles and rabbits and chickens, and then Mom got a pig and had her bred, and that pig thought she was a pet. And you know, she at 5 o'clock every daggone day, that pig would be standing up on all 300 pounds of her, standing up on her hind legs with her feet on the gate like this, screaming at the top of her lungs, "Come feed me."
Where is my slop?
She,
Where is my grain? Where is?
yeah, she loved my mama.
Yeah,
She really did. My mom had Pampered Pet Motel with that pig.
that's cute. Oh, your mom was Fern from Charlotte's Web.
Yep.
Wilbur and Fern.
Lots of good memories of that time of
Yeah.
yeah. Before everything went south anyway.
Yeah.
She was such a great gardener too. I mean, she had these massive gardens. And I can remember all the times we complained about, I don't want to shell peas. Why do I gotta shell peas?
You want to eat later, don't you? That's what my mom would say.
Yeah. But we would complain about having to shell peas or beans or whatever, you know. But then she'd want us to go out, and she'd have me go out and help her cut okra. And I'd be standing there every time I'd cut a pot of okra off, I'm standing there eating it. And she'd be yelling, "Stop eating the okra, put it in the darn bucket."
It is so hard when I plant peas, fresh garden peas, for me not just to pop the pot open and just
Exactly.
Oh, it's so hard for me not to do that.
Same thing with tomatoes on a vine.
Oh yeah.
You're walking through there and you're like, my mom would say, "Don't be eating tomatoes off." But Mom, they're for me so I can can them and stuff. But Mom,
you need to plant an extra plant just for me.
Yeah, I wanted to eat them off the vine, you know.
Yeah. I need a plant for me for next year. Thank you.
Yep. And Jennifer says, yes, there is a purpose for everything. For a long time, I couldn't figure out the purpose of a wasp. Then one day we saw them eating a tomato hornworm. See? Yes, picking okra is itchy. You are so right.
Yeah.
And then Jennifer says, fresh peas are delicious. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. Oh, yummy.
Yum yums.
Yes.
Those were the days. Gardens and baby calves. My mom, when we moved to Christmas, they started doing the calf thing. They would go to an auction and buy unweaned calves. I guess I really didn't understand why they were being took from their mothers, but apparently, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with them milk production or something. I don't know. I really don't understand. But they would come home with 6 or 7 calves, along with bottles and milk my mother would drag our butts out of bed at 5 a.m. to buy baby calves.
Yes, gotta feed that baby.
Yep. And she would also have pigs with several pigs in it. And in the afternoon, when y'all are going to laugh when you hear this, when I mean we were a bunch of tomboys, I'm not joshing you. We'd go climb the pig pen fence or go through we knew not to open the gate because pigs are not stupid. You know, they will just knock you over and run out the gate. So we'd climb over the fence and we would be out there riding the pigs, and my mom would hear a bunch of squealing going on and come walk out the back door, and she's like, "What are you doing? Get off those pigs."
Oh yeah.
Riding pigs, riding cows, you know, it could be rideable, you know.
Exactly. Oh, it is so true. My uncle owned a dairy farm. Well, and like my mom's whole side of the family, they were dairy farm people. So we would beg her to go to great grandma's house because that's where he ran. They had a dairy farm up on it. We called it Decker Hill because the Deckers lived there before. And but in 1912 or something like that, they had bought this house and built a dairy farm on it. And we would beg my mom to go back to her grandma's house so we could be with the babies. When my uncle say, "The babies are coming, the babies are coming." And yeah, they were so cute. We let them suck on our fingers and everything like that.
I don't, with the baby calves, when you were
Yeah.
bottle feeding them, they had, you know how, I know you know what I'm talking about. There's a smell of baby calves. Any baby actually has this certain kind of smell. And I remember thinking when
Yeah.
I was bottle feeding these calves, I'm like, they smell like babies.
Yeah. They're so adorable. They
Yeah,
are. They're aggressive though when it comes to their milk. Don't get in the way of that
yeah, they
bottle.
are. They'll knock you over.
Yes. But what's funny is, so in New York, you can, when you name an animal, like on a dairy farm, you can, that animal can be up to 7 letters. And
Mm.
Jessica is 7 letters. And so every year I go on his dairy farm, and because above, I can't even speak, above the cow was their name, their number, all of that great stuff. And I'd look every year. I was like, does he have a Jessica yet? And I'm going through and I'm like, and I finally asked him, I was like, Uncle Richard, every year I come and I never see a Jessica. I see everybody else. And he goes, every time, Jess, I had a Jessica. It was the worst cow ever.
Aw.
So he goes, it's just a bad cow. Doesn't and I was like, oh, sounds like me anyway. We don't stay in a line. We
Yeah.
like to go around and all about. So yeah, needless to say, he never named one Jess or Jessica or Jessie, nothing like that. I tried. So, oh,
I don't remember. I remember that some my parents would tell us because we'd want to name everything, and they're like, the ones we're keeping you can name, but you don't
yeah,
name the ones that's going to be leaving. And I said, what do you mean by leaving? Because we knew the facts of life. Some of them were going to be sitting on the dinner table,
mhm,
and the ones that we're going to eat, don't name them, because if you name them, then when I go and do what I got to do, you're going to be mad at me about it. And
exactly.
I'm like, okay, so we would name some of them. That was
Oh,
the rule, because he didn't want us getting, because he taught us early, we're going to eat these for food. And,
mhm,
that's why when my mother would walk out in the yard and grab a chicken and just go out and grab a chicken, hang it upside down on the clothesline. And she did that because she didn't want the chicken bouncing around after she dispatched it, bruising
exactly.
the meat and
Yeah,
getting, you know. And I used to think that my mom was a little bit weird. And then I realized why she was doing it was to keep the bird from beating up its meat.
yeah, exactly. Oh,
But it
yeah,
didn't
I've
bother
heard.
us when she'd walk out and just do its thing. And I'm like,
Nope, that's a hard nope from me.
yeah, and and it was because she was raised in a family where that's what they did. You go out and get tonight's dinner from the backyard.
Mhm. That's so true. Hmm. That's what I've always wanted to do, was to be able just to provide my own meat, or to just have enough land that I could provide my own meat for my family, or be able to go to a farm, because there's a farm here in North Carolina that I go get beef, and they have beef and bison and
Mm-hmm.
something else. Um, but anyway, they raise it on the farm. Everything's grass fed until the very end. They and that's why it's a little expensive to buy, because when we're in a drought, grass gets, hay gets expensive and stuff like that. But there's nothing like the taste of like fresh meat.
There
Uh,
isn't. There's nothing like
no, it's so good. I can't
farm
even
raised
go to Walmart.
animal.
There's no taste to it. Food
No,
Lion, there's no taste to it. Like your grocery stores, no. Um,
that's why you need to find a butcher that sells meat that they get off someone's farm.
yeah, my neighbor, he owns a butcher shop, and so now we go there, and once a week I'll go in there and I'll get burgers, because he'll put jalapeno and cheddar in the burger meat, and
Uh-huh.
then shape it, and then that's what we'll have that, or crab cakes, and then he'll wrap bacon on different things and stuff like that. But
Look
it's
what
really,
Gray said.
yeah.
Dre says they will run around after lopping.
Yeah, they will. You are so right, Dre.
It's
Hi,
like the
Rita.
body
How are
doesn't know. Yeah, the body's like, oh, I don't have a brain anymore, you know.
you?
What
Yeah.
would be interesting is that um when my dad would go deer hunting, and he only
Yeah.
the one time, and I think I've told this tale before. I think I even wrote a story about that day, because I wrote it in my freshman comp class. We were supposed to write a story that had to be so many words long, and it had to describe something without saying what it was. And I wrote this thing, and the teacher come back and she says, I know what the answer to this is, but did that really happen? And I said, it did. So what it was is the one time my dad ever took me hunting with him, he had set up, when we were living in Stark, we lived in this house that was out in the middle of nowhere. And so there was a cow pasture on one side of it. And then back behind the cow pasture was pine stands.
Uh-huh.
So he had gone back there and discovered that deer were coming through that property. And so he set up he either had two deer stands or three that he put way up in the air in the pine trees.
Yeah.
And so that day he took me and my sister Cheryl with him. And he put Cheryl in one deer stand, and he put me with him in the other one because he was going to let me try to take my first deer. The thing was, his pine stands are in rows.
Oh yeah.
So when this deer come walking through there, the deer's head was down, so you couldn't see the head because the grass was tall. So all you saw was mostly, as it passed by the rows of trees, you mostly only saw the center of the body, the part where you wanted to take do your thing. And he had decided he didn't want to risk a ricochet because Cheryl was up in the other stand.
Okay.
So he decided to take the shot. And when we were climbing out of the tree stand, because he knew he had gotten it, he was talking about safety stuff. He was talking about how to make sure that you reload your rifle, and when you're approaching a deer that you've dropped, you don't just go running up there because maybe you injured the deer and the deer's not gone yet, and what you have to do. And he was being very, not only factual, but
straightforward with it.
Straightforward with it. And he says, and when we come up there, if that deer's moving, you're going to finish it. That's what he told me. Because he wanted me to understand.
Ruins the meat. So absolutely.
Yeah. So so while he's telling me all this, he's pulling one of the bullets out of his pack, and he's not really paying attention to what he was doing because he's talking to me. And suddenly, pew, out comes a buck. And the buck is standing right there 150 yards in front of us.
Yeah.
And he's just looking at us. And he was a 4-point buck. He was a young buck, which means he must have been traveling with the one my dad brought down. Only we didn't know what it was until, of course, we find out later what it was. And he's staring, and my dad's like, here, take this other rifle, because he always carried 2 rifles with him. And he says, and he says, just stand still, don't move. And he kept on talking to me, and the deer's looking at us like a deer in headlights, and I'm like, why is he not moving? Isn't he afraid of us? And just as my dad went to pull the trigger, the deer jumped. And Dad says, I don't think I got it, but I'm going to go look. You're going to take this other rifle, and if there's any movement, you're going to do what I told you got to do. This is your job. And I'm like, okay. So I went on my way to where I was supposed to be going. And he come back about 20 minutes later, and he says, you need to go get your mom in the truck. Like, why?
Ready.
He says, because that deer ran at least 300 yards or a lot further before. And because he had jumped when Dad pulled the trigger, it caught him just behind the shoulder.
Okay.
And he had put a hollow point in his rifle, which is not supposed to be for hunting. That was for target practicing.
Yeah.
So it made a mess of the meat on that side of the deer. So I go home, breathing one, can't breathe. And I'm like, Mom, Daddy needs you with the truck,
Hi, Helen. How are you doing? Welcome in.
And he told me not to tell Mama what he had done.
Mm-hmm. My grandfather was so particular. He goes, hunting's a man's sport. And he always used to pick on us girls. He loved to pick on us. And so Jennifer and I, my twin, like we were like, my mom never hunted, and my mom was the only one that didn't have a husband that hunted. It's like we relied on the family for all our deer meat and stuff like that if we could get any off of them. We get one little pack for Christmas from my grandfather because he was so stingent with it. Oh, my grandpa, love him to death. But we beg him, and he goes, no. He goes, first of all, you got to stop taking a shower 2 weeks before we go hunt. Second of all, your clothes can't be smelling like perfume, and I don't think your mama knows how to wash clothes like that. And then he had all this huge list, and was like, all right, just tell us you don't want to go. You don't want us to go.
Mm-hmm.
But he would go, girls just talk too much. I brought so many girlfriends on hunting trips with me. Girls just talk too much. I go, oh, Gramps. Oh, he was fun.
Girls, you know, there's an advantage to learning these life skills even for a girl, because at least you know your way around a long rifle, for one thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you learn that, you know, because I was raised this way, that you could take care of your own family and not have to go to the grocery store.
Yeah. So it's just one little.
We become too dependent on that these days. Well, except you're in Greenland.
Yeah.
Helen says, I just lost respect for eagles. A homesteader in Alaska just lost their 2 baby pigs and the family pet dog to an eagle. Hey, facts of life, man. I know that sounds wrong, but yep.
No, I understand.
The Scrappy, my friend was telling me about a hawk picking up her. They called them the mini mutts, and all they were was half Chihuahua, something else. So they were very small dogs. And a hawk had the one Chihuahua by its tail, carrying it off through the air. Wow. I'm like, when hawks and eagles start hunting canines, they must be really desperate.
Exactly. Oh, exactly. I've never seen an animal being carried off. We have lots of bald eagles in upstate New York, on the shores of Lake Champlain. And so I've always seen the nest. I've seen the eagles fly, but I've never seen them attack. Like, I guess I'm just not around when they're hunting and stuff like that. But they are so beautiful to me.
They are. You know, let's see. Scrappy says, good story time. Thanks, y'all. Have a great night. And Katy, have a safe trip. I hope all goes well. I'm not leaving until next month, so we got plenty of time to keep on sewing. And then Dre says, you learn respect for animals too. Yes. About the eagle thing. When I moved, you know, I've never seen an actual bald eagle in my life. Never. But when me and Nikolai went to Homosassa Springs, and I hadn't never seen a red-tailed hawk either. But I saw a bald eagle there, and I couldn't believe how big they are. But what shocked me was the size of that red-tailed hawk.
Oh, they're big.
Those are indigenous to Florida. And I'm like, this explains why Mary's dog got toted off. The hawk was almost as big as the eagle.
Yeah. They're big too.
Dang, you know, it just shocked me.
We have one in the North Carolina Zoo. So that's the only time I've ever seen a red-tailed eagle or hawk. But yeah, they're beautiful too. So what I really appreciate our zoo is the animals that cannot survive in the wild. Yeah. They've been rehabilitated, they've been tried. That's the animals that we get in our state.
That was what was at Homosassa Spring, the hawk that we saw. We saw, I don't know, 3 or 4 red-tailed hawks, several eagles, and every one of them either was missing a wing or part of their wing had been broken and couldn't be fixed. And they were living the life on of, you know, not getting to ever fly or hunt again. Yeah,
we have the one, I forget which type of owl it is, but he only has one eye. And I was like, but he's so adorable. Yeah. He was so good. And then about Oh, it's about a little over a 35-minute drive. There is a wildlife preserve for tigers. So it's called Tiger Rescue. And so they have about 46 tigers on the facility at the moment.
It's too bad those can't be returned to where they belong.
I know. Because they've been homed, they've been, you know, they're just their instincts are probably still there, but they wouldn't be able to survive in the wild like we would want them to. Um, they have a couple monkeys. I forget what type of monkey it is. And then they have this beautiful lion, this male lion with his mane. I have never seen anything so majestic and beautiful. So we take our fourth graders there every year on a field trip because we talk about camouflage and how important it is for animals. They developed over time with evolution, you know, so that they can camouflage themselves into their surroundings. So that's always fun.
The thing that I found the most disturbing that I saw at Homosassa Springs was they had two different captive. One the reason they had so many animals there that were wounded was it was a rehabilitation place.
Yeah.
So I understood about the manatees, but then I didn't understand about the manatees because they were these small, very extremely small enclosures for these manatees, and manatees were never meant to live in such
those little sea
small
cows.
little space. And then see the male, there was this pipe thing that was underwater, and there was this big male that was halfway in the pipe, and he was calling to the female that was on the other side, but he couldn't get to her because there was a gate there where it wasn't open. But you know, and I thought that was disturbing. But the one thing I thought was very disturbing is see they had a female hippo that was 75 years old. She wouldn't even look at us from the enclosure. She looked like she was depressed. So sad.
Hi, Grant. How are you? Welcome in.
Grant. And I'm like, she needs to go back to where she belongs.
Grant said he saw an eagle in Sitka, Alaska.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. There's one sitting on a rock in the bay, and then he saw one up close at the Raptor Center. Oh, that's beautiful. I can't imagine seeing them that close.
The eagles here are huge, Jess.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 meters across.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did that in feet, that means their wingspan's close to 9, a little over 9 feet. What, you know,
I can imagine.
Tip. Yeah. And I can't, that my brain doesn't understand how that's even possible. But when they fly over you, you can hear the wind passing under the wings, just like I do with the ravens. So the ravens take on the eagles, which is hilarious. Sometimes you'll see 2 ravens bullying on an eagle. It's so funny, but it's not funny at the same time. And I'm like, don't they know that eagle could actually rip them apart if it got a mind to?
They're just teasing each other. Absolutely.
Yep. Because the eagles, they got big claws and big beak, and
I can't imagine.
Raven says, this is why I have always hated zoos. I understand preserving the species, but it hurts to see their enclosures versus their normal range would be.
What I really enjoy, so North Carolina has the largest zoo in North America, actually, like land mass wise. The elephants and everything, the elk, all of the they have acres and acres. I can't remember how many acres of land this is. I mean, I think it's over 300 acres. This zoo is. It's 7 miles to walk the whole thing. If you walk from North America to Africa and then back to North America. So it's definitely a day, or you can do like Africa one day, North America the next. That's what I used to do with the girls because we got $81 for as many times as you want to go to the zoo. It was great.
Did you know that Jacksonville has a zoo? Jacksonville, Florida? It has a big zoo. Yeah.
I've never been to a small zoo, Raven, so I can't, like we went to go to Washington, D.C. Zoo back when I was in youth group and we traveled up there. I don't remember it. So apparently it did not leave an impression on my brain. And so that was something 25 years ago or something like that, but still.
I tell you what, it's like deja vu is to take your kid, fly to California to San Diego to
Oh,
hang out with some friends for 2 weeks, and you take your children with you. And he takes all of us to the San Diego Zoo. And as soon as I walked inside, I'm like, why do I feel like I've been here before? It was the freakiest experience. So
yeah.
after when we got back to Blues, I called my mother and I said, Mom, did you
Yeah.
take us to the San Diego Zoo when we lived before we moved to Florida? She
Uh-huh.
says, yeah, why do you ask? I said, because we just took my kids to the San Diego Zoo, and I swear I feel like I've been here before. She says, you've been here so many times, I couldn't tell you how many times I've taken y'all. And it was the strangest feeling, it's like I knew my way around it. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
You want to hear something funny about being there?
Oh, go ahead.
When you first walk in, I don't know if they've changed it since the last time, because that was 2001 actually, because we
Yeah.
went in August. And when you first go in, you go through their little reptile thing first, and
Okay.
then you follow the path around till you see these big, huge. I think they're called tortoises.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest. They're the biggest turtle in all of the world.
Yeah, the tortoises.
So
Yeah.
they had like 5 or 6 of them. They had a couple. They had one male, and the rest of them were all females.
Uh-huh.
And it was hilarious about this because it was mating season. So,
I can imagine. I know where you're going.
but the funny thing is, you're on the other end of the park, and you can hear this moaning
Oh, and the loud
in
noise.
the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what's going on because they're down there mating. I'm like, that was so funny. One of my kids says, Mom, why is he making such noise? I said, sometimes sex feels like what.
Just let them do their thing. We need some baby turtles or baby tortoises. Absolutely. Oh, have a great night, Mona. Thanks for stopping
Thank you
in.
for coming in, Mona. I'll see you later on.
Yeah.
Hey, Jen, she says, hi, everyone. I have
Hi,
finally made it to the sewing room. Happy Friday. Awesome. I'm moving to the TV so I can't chat. Well, the zoos aren't small with even with a large enclosure, it's still smaller than a wolf pack's range. Yes.
well,
Yeah, because
absolutely.
they can travel hundreds of miles.
Yeah. Now that I'm not teaching, I won't know what day of the week it is. Just FYI, guys. When Katie said it was Friday, I had to double think. I was like, is it
And
Friday?
don't think about it. Well, because I didn't have my live last night, and that might have goofed you up a little bit too.
Yeah.
You might
It's
have
like,
thought it was Thursday.
yeah. But it is because William and I will be live later on tonight.
That's right, you will. And then tomorrow, oh my God, we are going to be having us a big time.
Yeah.
The triple play is going to happen again tomorrow, you guys.
Yeah. As soon as I get off work.
Yep. It's
So
going to be
then I can
me,
join
and
that
then
one.
it's going to be Mona, and then it's going to be William. Y'all are going to have a fun-filled, packed day of sewing while we all entertain you.
We're very good at the entertainment front. Yeah.
Yep.
Get us all together too.
Dre says, tortoise wrestling.
Oh, that's what I shall call it from now on. Whatever animal it is, they're wrestling.
I can't remember the name of the pandas that were there, but that was the coolest part. We got to see the pandas. Yeah, I think it was pandas. It was either pandas or koala. No, it was pandas. They had
Yeah.
2 of them.
Uh-huh.
And they were from China, but I don't remember their names. And they you could see them sleeping up in the tree. It was so cute.
Oh. Fun fact, I really, and I've told yeah, some people this, not everyone. I want to go down to Australia or somewhere where I can get like dressed from head to toe in anything, just so we don't touch, but a koala bear. I really want to
Yeah.
hold them.
Did you
Um,
did you
I know.
see when they had that big fire? I'm trying to remember which year that fire was because it was after I'd already moved to Greenland.
No.
They had a big wildfire like what was going on in the States, and
Yeah.
someone was doing a documentary about how the fire had caused such havoc with the koala bears.
Yeah.
And sitting there, I was crying my eyes out because
Yeah.
some of the things those poor little bears went through because of a forest fire was so sad.
Yeah. And a sloth. I do want to hold a sloth too.
Sloths are cool. Yeah.
So yeah. When our kids are really acting slow, I was like, oh, the sloths have arrived.
Yeah.
When they're sluggish for the day. But
It's right after what I don't know about your school, but I tended to think that sloth time happened right after lunchtime.
well, I know that's what usually does happen. We go from lunch and then we go outside and we wait for them to settle. And I never realized this event that happens with children.
Yeah.
But so my teacher, partner teacher, she goes, "We're going to be out here until they settle." And I looked at her like, "What do you mean settle?" She goes, "They're going to be playing so much, and then all of a sudden they're just going to be walking around and chilling out." And it's right. After about 20 minutes of them like playing basketball and playing flag football, all of a sudden you just see the energy level just settle down.
Yep. Yep.
And I was like, I think they've settled.
I often wonder
So
if having PE. I often wonder if having PE earlier in the day or having recess more than once
Yeah.
would
Okay.
benefit kids because think about it. You get up in the morning at
Yeah.
whatever the crack of dawn, depending on where your kid is, and you eat breakfast, and then you get on a bus probably, and then you sit your behind for God knows how long on that bus before you get to school, depending on again where you're from, and
Yeah.
then you got to sit in classroom until lunchtime.
Yeah.
And not every school now. Some classes might do recess earlier in the day, but then they might not do the afternoon recess, and
Yeah.
kids need to be able to let some of that steam
Yeah.
out.
I feel the same way. So my schedule at the school I'm at is they have PE first thing in the morning, which and then fifth grade goes right after us. So the big kids go first. They get they get a lot of energy out, and actually it really helps them settle in and they can concentrate because they wore their bodies out a little bit.
Yep.
The class is so competitive in fourth grade. Every year I think, oh, they're not going to be as competitive as the last group. Oh, they are, and I can tell you like which homeroom has more athletes than the other, and so I tend to always go on the other team that is not as athletically inclined,
Yep.
so I can help them out. But after lunch, we go out again, and we put that into our schedule. Like our schedule did not have a built-in recess, but we knew that these kids needed just 15, 20 minutes of just playing and having fun with their friends. We also, we're supposed to have assigned tables in the lunchroom, but we let the fourth graders, we don't care. As long as you're sitting down and you're behaving, they can sit with whoever they want in either class. Mm-hmm. So they only lose that opportunity if they've been misbehaving as a class and they couldn't settle in.
So since we're talking about fourth graders and stuff, okay. I was talking to Blaze yesterday, and because him and his daddy were having issues yesterday. But anyway, I asked him, I said, how come you don't bring any friends home from school? And Thomas is like, Mom, I'm like, no, I want to know why.
Okay.
We got a 9-year-old here that don't bring his friends home. I want to know why. According to Blaze, the first thing that he said was COVID, Grandma.
No.
I'm like,
incorrect. Next.
I'm like, what does that have to do with me? He said kids won't go home with other kids anymore because of fear of that.
No.
I'm like, well, COVID's over with. What's that got to do with anything? No. But apparently kids don't play with each other in each other's houses.
So I noticed with my students, if they go to rec leagues, they tend, or they're baseball players, whatever, they tend to hang out with each other more. If not, they get online and socialize by playing video games together. And so they're talking, they're playing in teams, they're being strategic. They're like, they're playing against each other. So, I mean, are they being physically active? No, but are they developing friendships and having fun? Yes.
Told me something interesting
Yeah.
yesterday, and I don't know what
I
to
see
say
kids
about it.
with kids all the time.
Yeah, well, I want him to have friends.
Yeah.
He's basically going to be growing up as an only kid, and I don't want him to grow up being an only child and not. I don't want him to develop antisocial skills.
What, and
Like
this is
his
his
dad, because his dad was very antisocial. He really
okay.
was. His dad was an only child, and the risk of, and part of that's you can blame on his parents, especially his dad. But I don't want Blaze being like that because Blaze is a pretty open, friendly little kid. But you know what he told me yesterday? He told me, and I couldn't believe the honesty when he said it. He says, "Grandma, I think I'm addicted to my phone."
Okay. Yeah. I tell kids that all the time. I think you're addicted to technology.
That's what
Yeah.
he told me. He plays his game constantly on that phone.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Teresa Louise. Welcome in.
Hey, Teresa. I told him, I said, maybe you need to start giving your phone to your dad and doing other things. So we've been talking about that. I do know that the bowling alley is on the verge of opening finally. It's an opening date anytime now. So we should hear something about if they're going to start offering kid leagues, which I hope so, because that means Thomas can get on an adult league and put his son on a child's league. Because Blaze is at a good age to learn to bowl. And the other thing is I talked to him about music and if he was interested in playing an instrument, and it was the same answer I got a year ago. He wants to play a flute.
Okay.
So fifth graders start being introduced to instruments, well, for band anyway, because band starts in middle school. And so but fifth grade's when they start being, I guess, worked with that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
learning how to read notes and
yes. So, and I feel like because he's got this mathematical brain, plus he's ADHD, that both will help promote, help with that concentrate. Because the music, because I asked him, I said, "Do you listen to any music?" And he says, "No, not really, other than game music." And I said to Thomas, I said, "Are you not playing rock music and pop music and all this stuff that you grew up on?" "No." And I'm like, "Well, why not?" I said, "Expose yourself to expose him to this stuff. Because if I was around, he know I would. We'd be cranking up Guns N' Roses or something."
Yeah. So when that bowling alley opens up, just see who Blaze, hey, why don't you, see if Thomas will say, hey, let's go to the bowling alley for a couple hours or to the movies and invite, because they have discounted matinees and stuff like that. And
yeah, we talked about the theater thing last night, and I said, take your son and go see a movie on a matinee. And I'm hoping he went and did that today.
Yeah.
Because they had at the theater they had the Mandalorian and Grogu was one of them. What was the other one? The other one that was definitely kid friendly. That they could I don't remember what it was, but it was something.
Yeah. I'm not up on movies.
Yeah, I was up with Grogu because I knew that was it. Oh, and the other one was He-Man, the Master of the Universe.
Oh.
You probably don't remember He-Man because maybe He-Man was already
little.
Oh, was it still going on? Yeah, because I remember I have the power.
Yes.
And that dude they got to play this. Did you see who they were had playing Skullatier, whatever?
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren. He's playing the bad guy.
Oh my.
Who the fuck it?
Oh.
Raven says at 12, I let him start using my game. Yeah, we've been having this discussion. Just so you know, Raven, my grandson cracked my son's password on his gaming laptop. Yeah, he did. So now Thomas has changed all the passwords in the house, and none of them are the same.
Um,
Because
Katie.
little smarty pants figured out the codes.
Fun fact, Katie, the original movie of He-Man was shot in the Valley of Los Angeles.
I did not know that.
Well, now you do. Lock it, key it, put it away.
Los Angeles.
Yes.
Did you know that a lot of the Marvel movies, parts of the Marvel movies were filmed in Georgia?
No.
Yeah, there's a movie studios there in Georgia. I think it's either in Atlanta or outside of Atlanta where they do a lot of their filming stuff.
Okay. Oh, that's so neat. I know they do film some stuff about it anymore. So,
you know, I didn't know when the first one came out. See, I never read any of the comic books, so I didn't know the storylines or anything. But when I saw the first Iron Man, I was like,
yeah,
meh. Well, at that time frame, I really wasn't familiar with it. But then the first Avenger movie came out, and I'm like, oh my God. And you know, I didn't know the storyline or anything else, but I really, really liked that movie. And then, so I went back and I rewatched the first Iron Man, and I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what they do with it. And then Iron Man 2 came out, and I'm like, oh. And at the time, I kind of didn't like Tony Stark. You know, he's Mr. Snarky Butt, you know, Mr. I'm a rich dude and I'm, you know, Mr. Arrogant, you know, narcissist. And I didn't know whether I liked him or not. But, you know, as time progressed through the whole, as they started telling the story, I realized I was having fun watching that because I'm not a Superman, Batman kind of girl. I mean, I liked the Batman series that had Christian Bale in it because I liked the more darker Batman versus the other kind of Batman. You know, there was just something about Christian Bale that just did it for me. And so when I was watching the Marvel movies, and they started introducing it, and then when they introduced Black Panther, it was like, oh my God. You know, I just was enamored by how they made Wakanda look, and it was so beautiful. You know, but now they're changing the whole way they're going to do it, and now we're going to have another battle, and it's going to involve ancient stories of the X-Men and characters I've never even heard of. And Thomas made a funny comment about that movie they came out with that had the one with the rock guy. What's that one called? The guy that looks like a rock.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I don't like.
What's the name of that movie?
Have you met
the
me?
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Fantastic Four.
Yeah. He says to me, have you seen it? I said, no. And he said, why not? I said, well, tell me why you're asking. He says, I haven't watched it either, but it looks clunky. I said, that's exactly why I haven't watched it, because I'm afraid that it's going to be too 80-ish for my taste.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Because, you know, when you see the best of Marvel, and now they make this weird movie, and it's like,
yes. No, it's true. It is true.
Hey, Teresa, do you want to hop up with us or no? As I thought I sent a link, but maybe I didn't.
Yeah. Raven said she didn't give her son a tablet or I guess technology until he was 12 years old, which it's just amazing. And I agree with. My kids
years old's a good age to start teaching respect, you know, and that's why I told, because Blaze keeps asking, why can't I have a computer? I said, Blaze, for one thing, because when your daddy tells you not to do something, you go and do it anyway.
Yeah.
I said, if he tells you to stay off his laptop, there's a reason why he don't want you on his laptop. You're not mature enough.
No, and you need to learn internet safety and all of that stuff first. And there's predators online, just like there is when you're walking anywhere. So you have to be, you know, they'll groom you before and then kind of keep it safe, but you should always, yeah, be around your children when they're on technology. Teresa's asking me what I'm working on. I am working on I have a Bargello quilt in the making right now. So I'm in the process of sewing up like 2 strips at a time. So I don't warp them and keep them as straight as possible. And then we'll go from there. There'll be a video.
Look, Teresa says, I liked Thor too. You ain't the only one.
Yes.
You know what? I kind of like the dark Loki too, which is funny.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I wanted to punch him out. Bow down before me. I'm your God. I'm like, oh my God. Meant to subjugate to gods. What's so funny with him? And then he'd go, someone would Thor would do something to him and he's like, you could hear him squeaking because he got knocked over.
Yeah. Oh.
They always try to put a little bit of comedy in the middle of all that. But I think the best part of when they brought in, I never knew the storyline about not Captain America, the Lady America. What was her name?
Woman, Wonder Woman?
No, that's WD. She was something America. Oh my God, I'll think about her name in a minute. Give me a minute, I'll figure it out. But when they introduced her and her friend, I guarantee every girl on the planet probably wanted to be her. Just like when Wonder Woman came out.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna Google because that's what I do.
Can't think of her name right now. You Marvel people, help me out. Andy says, hi there, on my way to a nap. Sleep good. Captain Marvel. There we go. It finally came out of my mouth. Captain Marvel, when they introduced her halfway through.
Yeah.
The storyline about how she became Captain Marvel and everything, it was very interesting.
Oh, cool.
Fly fast, fly higher, baby. Something like that. She had a quote.
Yeah.
Let me find a quote because it was a quote. I think it was fly faster, fly higher, or something like that.
Oh, you got me on like my sister, my oldest sister of all. She used to make us watch every Hugh Jackson movie ever. She was in love with Hugh Jackman. And so
that man could sing.
Yeah. So needless to say, I have watched every Hugh Jackman movie known to man. So,
and then when Nikolai teases me constantly about Jason Momoa.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's your little hottie over there. Because when Aquaman came out and they chose him to be Aquaman instead of some blonde guy, you know, I was like, oh, this is so refreshing.
I've never.
And Jason, but I was already hooked on Jason from Stargate Atlantis because he had those long dreads and he was so, oh my God. He's sexy.
Okay, fun fact, I really never had an actor crush. Really never have. That's funny in a way. Like I've never like had a poster on my wall or anything going, oh,
I never had posters either. Yeah.
Like, let me be his musician. Yeah.
But him, I think he's a hottie. I don't have naughty dreams of, because sometimes when he's speaking on me about it, I'm like, I'm not having naughty thoughts about him. I just think he's fun to look at.
Oh, exactly. No, I would love to stand next to him and take a picture. It's like, hey,
yeah,
fun. But yeah, bat my blue eyes and go, take a picture with me. That's probably what I would say. Yeah.
when I met Bo Diddley in person,
Yeah.
and we're sitting at the table and we're talking to each other, and he's talking to me and he says, you know, you don't even act like most fan women. I'm like, what does that even mean? He says, have you ever been to a concert, any kind of concert? No. Have you ever met anybody famous? No.
Mhm.
And so he says, this meeting someone famous is really not rocking your world. I said, I didn't say it wasn't rocking my world, but I don't know what you're getting at. He says, you
Yeah.
don't look like a bunch of frivoling little girls screaming. And I'm like, well, that's just dumb. I said, I'm not like that.
No. No.
He signed, he was in the middle of producing a new album.
Mhm.
And in fact, it hadn't even been put on the market yet. And he
Yeah.
gave me a signed copy of it.
Oh, Andy's on her way to go take a nap.
Yep.
Have sweet dreams, Andy. I don't know if you've read that or not.
Most people don't know who Bo Diddley is, but he's the father
Yeah.
of blues music.
Yeah.
Or rock and roll, whichever, not rock and roll. Hang on, I'll tell you the exact quote about him. Um, but there's a song called Hey Bo Diddley, and you'll have to listen to it one of these days. And some people won't get his music. I got his music because I thought it was interesting because I never heard that side of the I think that's probably because I liked rhythm and blues music anyway. And I
Yeah.
also liked yeah, R&B, then you had disco, and then you had funk music.
Mhm.
All this stuff came out around the same time in the late, between the 60s to 70s. I never heard much of the 60s stuff until I was way older.
Okay.
Because I was born in the 60s, so hearing music, that kind of music never happened in my mom and dad's house, because
Yeah.
you know why. Uh,
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna put in here, what is Bo Diddley famous for?
So Teresa's mad at Hugh Jackman because he left his longtime wife for another woman.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
apparently, I'm not up on Hugh's life. Um,
Okay,
but
here's what he's famous for.
not good, Hugh Jackman. We need to talk
Bo,
later.
Bo Diddley was a pioneering American guitarist, singer, and songwriter known as the originator. He is credited with bridging the gap between the blues and rock and roll by introducing insistent driving rhythms and a distinctive hard-edged guitar sound. His most famous contribution to music is the syncopated Bo Diddley beat, often remembered by the rhythm shave and a haircut 2 bits. This irresistible rumba-like groove is considered one of the fundamental rhythms of rock and roll.
Yeah.
Rectangular guitar is which he is iconic for designing and playing his own trademark rectangular bodied Gresh, and I'm probably not saying that right, guitar, affectionately nicknamed the Twang Machine. He was a major innovator in guitar techniques, experimenting with distortion, tremolo, heavy amplification early in rock history. He brought a charismatic theatrical swagger to his live performances. Many of the rock and pop music biggest acts, including the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and Buddy Holly, borrowed his signature rhythm and hard driving style. Songs like I'm a Man and Who Do You Love have become a timeless classic. So there, and that Who Do You Love is a cool song.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
So you just learned something new.
I did. I love learning things, new things. So.
You know what his real name was? His real name was Ellis McDaniels. He told us that. He says, never tell anybody though, until after I'm gone. He's gone now, of course.
Yeah.
That's what his real name was Ellis McDaniels.
Yeah.
An interesting name for a person like that.
Uh-huh. Oh, cool.
Very cool person. Teresa says, dang fingers.
I know. Mine always get in my way too. I eventually want to get like a desktop or something. I can have a keyboard and So it'd be easier to type. I can't, like right now, it's like my laptop's propped up on something. Every time I type on it, like it bounces. So I just try not to
Get a
type.
wireless to put on your laptop to use.
Yeah, I'm being bougie, like babyish about it.
But I'm with you about the desktop. We bought one. I just got to buy. Realized when after we bought the desktop, I'm like, uh-oh, I need this, this, and this before I can even use the darn thing.
Yeah, I found some really nice like refurbished one through Amazon. So I'm gonna look at that because it's pretty much up to specs with like all the technology that we're using now.
Yep. Yep.
So, and I can save $300, so bring it on. I don't want to pay full price for something I don't have to. Of course, who does? Who does? But yeah.
I am so looking forward to my trip. I think it's going to do me good getting away for a few days.
It will. It will. It'll sharpen your saw. Yeah.
And it's also going to give me a chance to go do some exploring for quilt shops, you know, especially since I found a long armor to quilt my bigger quilts.
Yeah.
The ones that can do, you know, don't need custom quilting done. So y'all might end up with 4 quilts this year that's going to be finished. It's got just edge to edge done on it. It'll be finished. And I'm excited about that.
I'm hoping to finish long arming Tasha's like petals quilt that I made last year. It's still a long arm, so I'm hoping to finish that so I can bind it. And then I'm gonna load that navy quilt that I posted for my dad on the quilt on the long arm, and I'm gonna use the long arm to keep everything taut so that I can hand tie it all.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to
idea.
How am I going to do this without it being all lumpy and stuff? And I was like, oh, use your long arm, Jess. Hello. So,
Teresa says, I need a new laptop. I thought you were going to go buy one. Then she says, what are you getting, Jess?
Eventually, I'm saving up right now for an iMac. I'm a big Apple person. I've worked with Apple for years. I prefer that technology. I can handle Chrome and stuff like that, like Lenovo and different laptops, but I just have a harder time when it comes with the shortcuts because I'm just so used to Apple technology. And I like using Google Home instead of Excel and stuff like that. Office. So I
wanted to go live earlier today just so y'all could see what it looked like outside.
Yeah.
With the wind, it was too windy and it would have made too much racket. The lake is free.
Oh, that's nice. Finally, huh?
Yeah, it's been set free. So when I went to town today, I'm like, oh my God, it felt like spring. You could smell it. The air was fresh and yummy. And I'm like, oh, spring is here.
Yeah.
I mean, about 2 weeks, we're going to be infested with mosquitoes.
Oh, no. Nope. I hope never. Oh.
They don't last very long. They last about 6 weeks and then they're gone again. When I see, I'll know when it's going to actually start because it's a strange thing that happens right before the mosquitoes show up suddenly. You'll see a bunch of birds out there on the lake. And I think they congregate on the lake, not only because there's these small islands in the middle of the lake. I think they congregate out there not only to mate and nest, but they sit out there eating mosquitoes all day long.
Oh, nice. They're helping the population.
Yep.
It's so, I'm going to say, I think that, mosquitoes are attracted to some people more than others by like the pheromones and things that they give off that we can't smell. But, with the naked nose and stuff. But I am collecting scientific information, guys. I really am, people. I think if you have a B positive type blood, you are less likely to get stung or get eaten up by mosquitoes. I'm gonna hold you to it. My sister and I were both B positive, my twin, and if you were to put us in the same area as everyone else, we don't get eaten up at all.
Lucky you.
It is, but I always felt bad for my children because they took after their father's side of the blood strains, and they get eaten up so bad. My
Yeah.
poor babies. So they were always, and I don't like putting chemicals and everything on them, so it was always hard for me to put mosquito stuff and everything on them.
Raven said that they never bit her grandpa, or he just wasn't allergic.
Mm.
She's saying CPU and graphics card. I think she's asking you about that.
Yeah.
Basically, to me, Teresa, what you need is something that has a really high-ended graphics card in it, like a NVIDIA, or with some memory on it, at least 8 gigs, maybe, or 4. You can get away with 4, but 8 is better for the graphics. Yeah. I'm not talking about memory for the from the motherboard itself.
Yeah.
And the other thing is having enough RAM on your laptop.
Yeah.
15 is better than 8.
Yeah, Teresa, I like what you're thinking, going more towards like a gaming computer or gaming laptop than just standard, student one, because you need it to run fast, and you're going to have different apps open and different things, and it needs to be able to handle all of that. So
and make sure it has at least a 2 terabyte hard drive on it, because the first terabyte is going to be eaten up by your software.
No.
Or most of it anyway.
Yeah.
This little laptop that I'm doing the live from.
Yeah.
I've already used up all the hard drive space pretty much.
Oh, okay.
So when we go to Denmark, I'm going to ask the guy up at we're going to go to Eagle. I can never pronounce the name of the electronics store, but I'm going to ask him if there's a way to add a second hard drive to this little laptop. Or if not, then I'll just have to start unloading everything onto an external, which I did buy an external for it.
Yeah, I would probably have an external hard drive too.
Me and Nikolai need to make a server is what we need to do.
Okay.
Or buy a server to back up all our stuff onto, because between our photographs and me making videos for YouTube, it would behoove us to do that. Yeah. And then it won't all be sitting on here gathering, because my pictures are insane how many I have. I told you how many I had on Flickr. That's not counting all the stuff we have on all of our hardware here at home.
Yeah.
We have a lot. I need to get them all put onto a big drive and then make like 3 different drives and give them to the kids.
But yeah, Teresa, what Raven's talking about, I'd pay attention to what the CPU and the graphics card is too, because that's going to help you. There's just so much technology, and there's so many opinions out in the world. It's really hard to do, the research, and you got to do what's in your budget, B, what's user friendly to you, and so that something could be simple to me or simple to you, and I look at it like this is a foreign language to me. Like, it's going to take me a while to work through it. So yeah, it's hard, but it's a lot of research, and pretty much it's obsolete about 6 months after you buy it anyway. And then because the thing is out, and it just feels like our technology, it just can't be updated. We have to buy new. So, but I'm planning on getting a desktop so that I can just, I can be more plug and play in certain areas too, where I can just upload or just upgrade certain things as we go, if it's possible. I'm more into that.
Teresa says she's been doing some research.
Oh,
yeah, do research before you just pull the trigger. Make sure you know what you want. I knew you had been talking about getting yourself a laptop. All right, do you know that we've been 2.5 hours in? Let's do this poll.
Okay, let's do it.
I need to. Hang on a second. And if you hear a but, I hope it doesn't make a.
Yeah, we've Raven, we've built our last desktop for Olivia when my oldest daughter, when she got her gaming computer for Christmas. We actually gave it to her in certain different boxes, and then she got to build it with her dad. So that was special.
See if you can hear this. This is how you pronounce the word, but hopefully you can hear it.
Kakistocracy. Kakistocracy.
Capitocracy.
Kakistocracy.
See what I mean?
Oh my gosh. Okay. English, guys, I'm a math teacher.
Kakistocracy.
All right, well, anyway, that's the word. So let's talk about it.
Let's just, is that
So
the answer?
we have 40 votes. And that first word, I always struck with this aristocracy. Oh, finally, it came off my mouth. Thank God. So 15% voted for that. 5% voted for democracy. 17% voted government by the worst. And I was going to say something about the reason we're doing this word.
Yeah.
And 10% said meritocracy. Okay, I did not choose this word for any personal reason. None. Zero, zip, none. It was in my email. Like I said, I get these every day. And I'm like, oh, interesting word. And then when I saw when I guessed the answer and it was right, I'm like, wow, you couldn't be more fitting right now. But anyway, 40 people voted. So the answer is it's government by the worst.
Government by the worst.
Yep. And 70% of you got the answer right.
I'm going to give you a round of applause. Thank you.
Let me read what the word, why the word, okay? Because I've been doing that with you guys, so you can remember this. The definition is a system of government in which the worst or least qualified individuals are in power. I didn't even know there was such a thing. It's derived from the Greek word, oh my God, because I can't, y'all know the word, meaning worst, and kratos means power or rule. Example, the citizens lamented that the state of their nation, feeling trapped in kakocracy, where incompetence ruled. Governments by the worst refer to a political system where the leaders are the least competent or most unqualified individuals. This phenomenon often arises from corruption, lack of accountability, or apathy among the electorate, leading to a cycle of poor governance. In that word, decisions may be based on self-interest rather than public good, resulting in policies that fail to address citizens' needs, such as governance can lead to widespread disillusionment, social unrest, and decline in democratic values as the populace grapples with consequences of ineffective leadership. That's an interesting word. Who'd have thought that would have come through my email?
Yeah. The word of the day.
The word of the day. That was interesting. First time I've ever seen that word.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get going because I still have to make dinner.
I know we're getting close to probably stopping here.
Okay, I didn't know what your schedule was going to be today.
Yeah, I'm not running a 5-hour tonight. Nope, not, no, because we're going to be busy tomorrow, number one. And number two, I'm feeling better. Let's not push it.
Oh, exactly. I get that too.
So I was just going to knock it off at the 3-hour mark, and we're getting close.
Okay. All right.
About 30 minutes, we'll be done.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out, I'm thinking in my refrigerator. All right.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what are you going to eat?
Well, I have a salad, so we're going to start with that.
You remember we were having a discussion about something yesterday that had to do with food?
Yeah.
I looked up some stuff, and I know, and after talking to the doctor also, I have to tell you some stuff that might be why you were having those issues.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk later. Yeah.
Because I've been doing some research.
I know I'm trying to do research too on certain things because I'm like, there has to be, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have a salad. And then I have I bought salmon, so I'm debating whether I want to cook salmon today or tomorrow, or the chicken that I have. So,
Don't leave your, if you're not going to cook your salmon, you need to freeze it.
well, I just bought it today on the way home, so it'll be. It's supposed to be. It says sale by, you
I
know.
am very funny. I don't leave fish in the refrigerator.
Okay. I try to buy the healthiest fish I can. Of course, it's not always, not gonna be the best, but it'll
Salmon's
do.
good for you.
It is good.
Salmon is good for you. You're supposed to eat like, I don't know, twice a month salmon, actually. I don't remember how many grams of it, but it has things in it that's actually good for you.
Yeah. I like haddock too. Cod.
I love cod. Oh my God.
Good.
Cod is so delicate.
There's one more. Oh, and I love tuna steaks. I love going to a restaurant and just getting tuna.
Do you know I've never eaten fresh tuna? What you're talking about? I've never had it. What does it taste like?
Better than salmon for me personally, but
does it have that strong taste like salmon, or is it
a little strong?
Less
Off-putting. No, it's about the same. I would have to say was about salmon. So people might think I'm strange or whatever, but when I get my tuna steak, I just have them sear it on both sides and just warm it throughout. And it's not technically cooked all the way through, but
and you and Nikolai would get along really good then.
Nikolai is my cousin from another mother and another family.
Yeah, you two would get along because he'd eat that like that.
Yeah. I just remember. I haven't had tuna steak in forever, just because of how expensive it was, and I couldn't justify it when all four of us were going out for dinner and stuff.
Yeah,
but
look who's on the channel. Hey, Andy. Make sure you cheer your. Oh, I'll do it.
Oh, hi, Andy. Tonight is pizza night. Woo, pizza. I wonder if someone else is having pizza.
Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that's not gonna work. I need to put True Blue, I think.
Yeah, True Blue Quilt. You guys need to go see her. She's amazing. If you haven't checked out Andy before,
there we go.
Her.
The second link is Andy's. Sorry, guys. I forgot I did that because I have two Andys.
I know Debraka goes in there once in a while. I think, Katie, I've seen you in there once in a while.
You have. I try to catch her when I can.
Yeah. I get on there and say hi, and then I'm usually cooking or something when she's on because of her time, but
I need her to come sew. Hey, you need to come sew with me again. Just saying.
I need to.
Pressure here, right?
Yeah. I need to make time so when I go over to the West Coast, I can go see her, or we can meet up somewhere.
Yeah, she's another Arizona. She's another Arizona girl.
She is. She's in the Phoenix area, so yeah. Oh, Teresa says tuna steak is yummy. It is. Tizzes.
She says, it's been a while. I should be working at the long arm, but I am dead from intense week on the day job. I can imagine. Hey, Quiltanon, it's good to see you.
Hi, Quiltanon. Welcome.
So while we're getting close, what time is it again? I need to keep an eye on that clock. So while I'm thinking about it, don't forget that tomorrow is the triple play. Any of you who are not on my anyone that is going to be in my or at my live tomorrow, if you want to get on the panel, let me know. I'll send you a link for that too. The more the merrier to break my son in. I think it would be interesting if you can make it tomorrow to talk to Blaze.
Okay, I'm going to try. I mean, when I get off work, I need to take a nap, or I'm never going to make it through all three of y'all. So I know I'm going to be on later for you, and then
Mona,
and then William. Yeah, so
fun, because we're going to have several hours of a live.
Yes,
but at least we don't have to run it ourselves the whole time. We got someone else let's see, Mona will run it, and then William will run it. Oh, speaking of William, I sent him an email for tomorrow too,
Okay.
just in case he hasn't seen it.
Okay. You know, as secretary of the House of Sewing.
Oh, that's what I figured. So I wanted to make sure you were aware. He got an email too.
I need to get like a patch or something that you know I can. It's like Velcroed, you know, so plus my adjust, and then I take it off and I go and I put another one. As secretary of the House of Sewing.
House of Sewing Secretariat.
Absolutely.
The secretary.
It's fun. I really enjoy hanging out and doing lives with him and stuff like that.
Yep.
So it's fun. Yeah, always a good time over there.
Never a dull moment, that's for sure.
No.
Hey, Fern King.
Hi, Fern. How are you? Welcome in.
How you doing? I haven't seen you in a bit. Hope everything's well in your world.
Yeah. So what Katie's trying to tell you all, make sure that you're highly caffeinated, you have your food, you're ready to go. A great project that you're going to be sewing with or just on the TV.
Make sure you have a pizza. Yeah. Make sure you already have some kind of dinner made, like pizza or whatever that you can go and graze on during the lives.
Yeah.
Make sure you have all of those things so you can just get up, go get a snack, come back. Get up, go get a drink, come back.
Exactly.
We're going to sew and laugh and have a good time tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And I'm hoping that we get someone telling jokes because I don't tell jokes because I just suck at that.
I'm not a joke teller either, but I'm pretty sure we can think of some things.
Yep, definitely.
I was at work today and you know, I covered the customer service. Okay, you guys, I work at Lowe's Home Improvement as a customer service representative. And so I'm doing customer service, doing returns. And they said, oh, we need you over at the self-checkout. And so, you know, to give out a break. And I'm like, okay. So I went to do that. And I come back and I'm like, is there anywhere else that you need me to do? And she goes, I need 2 lottery numbers and I need you to dance. So I give her my 2 favorite numbers, which is 45 and 52. And then I go scuba and I start doing the scuba thing. And I like go down and come back up. She goes, I've never seen anyone actually do it. And I was like,
that's hilarious.
I was like, welcome to my elementary school brain. You hired a teacher. That's what you're gonna get fun.
Yeah.
So
I bet it's hard to resist going to the gardening department, isn't it?
I have yet to go there.
You ain't gone and looked? Not even looked? Yes.
I'm waiting for my first paycheck. It's next week.
I can't believe you didn't go and scout anything out.
Not yet, but I will be going to the clearance department in the garden center next Friday with my $2 paycheck and see what I can scoop up.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I like to revive things, and I have like a little patio in my entry area, and so I kind of want to dress it up a little bit. So I'm going to get a couple pots and everything, and you know, beautify my.
I would also get a big 30-gallon pot and plant you a couple big ass tomato plants in it.
Oh.
Then, or like cherry tomatoes. I don't know if you like cherry tomatoes. Either cherry tomatoes or the small heirloom ones. And then when you get a bunch of tomatoes, like buying munch on them, you know.
Yeah, I like the yellow ones because they have less acid inside of them in them. So I'm a big yellow tomato person. But I love growing all tomatoes. Yeah. All vegetables. I love growing. But yeah, I should probably do something.
Or do a tomato plant and a pepper plant. I mean, if you like sweet bell peppers.
Yeah.
Do both of them in the same pot, you know?
Yeah, it gets so the way that the door faces, like where I would put everything, it's in the shade until probably around 11 o'clock in the morning, and then it gets full sun for the rest of the day because I'm west facing.
Yeah, perfect for tomatoes and peppers.
Yeah.
Fern says no, she's been sick. I'm sorry. I hope you get to feeling better.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of sickness around lately. And have you noticed that some people are having stomach trouble, and I was surprised by it, hearing that.
Yeah. The stomach flu was rampant in our school.
Oh, God, yes. So that's going around along with what I had, which is food poisoning.
Yeah, exactly. So I was really worried that a lot of kids would be retesting for the end of year grade testing because they were sick all the way up until that day. Excuse me, that day.
Yeah.
But I got extra mints that day and said, okay, if this mints will help settle your stomach if you need it, if you feel, because I know you've been sick, and if you're not feeling 100%, and if you don't feel like taking the test, don't take it. It's going to be okay. We can do it another day.
Oh, by the way, Blaze does have a 504.
Okay, good. We just need to know.
We need to know what that's on it, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So, okay, that's good. I'm glad he has that.
Clarified that yesterday. I mentioned something about it. He said, Mom, Blaze already has that. I'm like, oh. So
he should have paperwork on that then.
He should, yes.
Then he has it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be pestering or bending his ear a little bit about it.
Yeah. And so
it looks like he's going to at least go to his teacher from the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Was on the phone with Blaze when I called Thomas, or either I called Thomas or Thomas called me. I don't remember which.
Yeah.
They were discussing going to VBS at her church.
Okay.
So Blaze is going to go do that. And Thomas said that wait, I haven't. I'll check the email and see if the person answered about the camp thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I gotta talk to my camp leader too, because I have to let her know what my choices are. Because I'm teaching summer camp this year for a week.
What are you going to teach?
So it's a science-based camp, and there's a girls and boys camp, and then there's a only girls camp, and she wanted me for the only girls camp because she couldn't find a teacher for that. And so I'll be teaching kindergarten through 6th grade kids.
Interesting.
And so I'm debating whether to do something. So we can build a robot, we can do something with astronomy, and then there's two other, like force and motion. The 4th one I can't remember off the top of my head, but I need to pick 2 options for her and give them to her so that she can go ahead and give me the information. So
yeah.
But I'll have 4 groups of kids 4 days that week. And so it's going to be fun. I can't wait. It's going to be my first time teaching summer camp at that level. Like I've done reading camp for like 3 years in a row for my camp.
I really wish I could pay for him to go to STEM.
Yeah.
So expensive. So expensive. Thomas asked me when we were talking about STEM yesterday, he says, how many days is that for? I'm three days. And he says, Mom, $150 for 3 days of a STEM class? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. But how long is he there for? Like
the whole day. It said 9 to 4 or something like that. And they get fed breakfast and lunch. So yeah. But he was shocked. I was shocked by the price myself, of course, but
yeah,
it definitely would be good for him.
Mm-hmm. And it's a good socialization too, to be, he'll find people that has like-mindedness with him and bond that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the little turd's going to be like, hi, everybody.
Oh, I look forward to meeting him tomorrow.
He says,
yeah. I'll set my alarm so that I can make sure I get up.
Make sure you get a nap though, okay?
Oh, I'm gonna need a nap. Oh yeah. It's a long day. I'm not saying it's a long day waiting on customers, but I'm just so used to being in motion all day long and going around, and I have to kind of like stay still in an area. Oof.
Yep.
And just take care of customers, and that's wonderful, and I'll do that all day long. Yeah. So it was slow today, but it went by fast.
Sometimes it's like that when it comes to places like that.
Yeah, I got a story for you.
when I went to the store today, I couldn't believe how many people. There was people everywhere.
Yeah.
It was like there was people everywhere. They were sitting outside at picnic tables outside the grocery store. They were standing around everywhere because the weather was so beautiful today. And you could see that people were like, spring has come.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad. I hope. I gotta look at the weather because it's so drizzly and just yucky outside right now.
Yeah.
I want to be outside, but it's just like it's raining. Who wants to be outside when it's just that drizzly, misty rain? So,
yep.
Good day.
I remember when I lived in Florida, and you know, we would go through those droughty times because Florida has those from time to time. Hey there, girlfriend, Miss Little Mona 2.0. Donna says my son went to space camp. Oh my God. Wouldn't that be a real treat?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because Blaze loves space.
Oh. Hi, Donna. How are you? Welcome in. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier.
It's good to see you, Donna. And Mona says, whoop, whoop. It's Friday. Howdy, y'all. Gotta go. Gotta go. Saying thumbs up. Bye-bye. You're leaving?
Oh,
out here.
She must be busy. Maybe they're going to the lake or something this weekend.
Probably, or they're driving one.
Yeah. Well, have fun, whatever you're doing.
Have fun, little one.
We'll see you on the flip side of sometime. Yeah.
I was going to say something. Now I kind of dropped the ball on it. About Blaze, I think. You know, if we could ever find a lawyer to pick up, a lawyer that does, what do you call it?
Pro bono, like for free?
Pro bono. They can find the paperwork where we can get a passport for him. I'd bring him over here for the summer in a heartbeat, you know?
Yeah. So who needs to sign off on it?
Well, when you get a passport for a child, both parents have to sign it. Thomas can't just like go up there and say, well, because they're going to say, well, where's his mother? I don't know. Well, your grandson or your son can't leave the country without permission from his mother.
Okay.
But so what we got to do is we have to file an abandonment, which I think sucks that you have to go that route to file an abandonment when she voluntarily gave up rights to him.
That's what I was going to ask. If
she wrote a letter and says, I give up all parental rights of my son to his daddy, Thomas Douglas. It's just what she said. But it never got notarized or nothing. She did it because DCF was about to come and get Blaze. And so she basically filled out, or she wrote 2 different letters. One letter said, I am voluntarily giving up custody of my son to Lynette, who will be taking him to Thomas. And, you know, everybody's name is a witness signed it. And then she also said, I give permission for Lynette, my daughter, to do anything that had to do with taking the grandson to, if he needed to go to the doctor or whatever, until he gets to his dad. You know, she did that too, because which DCF would have just turned around and handed him straight over to us if they had, but they were trying to, because DCF called me and said, we're trying to keep us from, what they were trying to do is if they took him into the, if they took custody of him, then he would be put into the system.
Exactly.
And the reason they called a family member to come and get him is so that they didn't have to put him into the system.
Yep. Less paperwork.
Yeah, less paperwork, less having to deal with all that stuff. So she voluntarily gave him up because she knew she was going to lose him anyway. And then they came the next day and took the other one.
Yeah.
Because the other one, they wanted to know if we take his half brother. And I told him, I said, no, because first of all, he does have a biological dad and his dad is aware of him. And secondly, he's autistic and none of us have the skill set to handle a fully autistic child who can't speak.
Yeah.
we knew we weren't equipped for that. Thomas loved Trevor. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want to put that burden on him. He was just, you know, and I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah. Good night, Jean. I hope you have a great night.
Have a good night, Jean. Hi, Delia.
Hi, Day. How are you? Welcome in.
Donna says, I live very close to Huntsville, Alabama.
Woohoo.
And then Fern King says, Donna, my daughter lives in Tennessee, close to Huntsville. And then Donna says, I'm about 25 minutes from Tennessee. Oh, that's cool. Fayetteville. Thomas spent the night in Fayetteville before he got to Georgia.
Nice.
When they were traveling from California.
Yeah, there's Fayetteville's everywhere.
Oh, look, I got some more of these done. Let's see how many I have now.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's one for one block. 1, 2. Not necessarily in that order.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7. So here's enough for another one. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's enough for a third block. Okay, so we're making progress here.
Day said that she's glad to see that you're up and about, Katie.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm pacing myself tonight, so there's not going to be no 5-hour live tonight.
So she says.
So you notice I've been. My husband's like, please don't run a long live tonight. Take it easy on yourself.
Yes,
because that stuff kicked your butt. It sure did. Let me see what time it is. Yeah. We're almost, let's see, 8:30, 9:30.
And
we're almost at the 3-hour mark in about 10 minutes, 20 or 11 minutes. All right. So let's talk about tomorrow one more time.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, triple play. That means it's going to be everybody you saw in the triple play last weekend will be playing to have fun this weekend. So I will start it out at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Then followed by it's 8 o'clock her time.
8 o'clock Eastern.
8 Eastern. Yeah. And then I will be dumping everybody into Mona's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern. So about between 10 to 5 minutes before she goes live, I'll dump everybody into there by shutting down my live. And then Mona will dump everybody into William's channel at 9:45 p.m. correct Eastern. Yep. And then William will be picking up the last half of, or the third part of it. So it's kind of like we're having a baseball game or a football game, whatever. First, second, third quarter.
It's hockey because hockey has 3 periods.
Okay.
Period,
yeah.
2.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. What she said. Let me see what else. Sunday. Yeah. While I'm thinking about it, because tomorrow might be crazy and I might forget about it. I hope I usually don't, but let's mention it anyway. Sunday. Yeah. Sean will not this Sunday, but Sean, I will be working with Sean on the last Sunday of this month. But tomorrow it will be me over on Sherry's channel for more Alice's Wonderland. So, and we're starting the new the next half of all this so long, which is
okay, Katie. Repeat after me. I can do it.
Freaking you.
Do hard things. I can take my time and I can do it. You can do it, Katie. I believe in you. You can do this.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I think we're doing either curves first or we're doing that other or whatever. Something we're doing. So
remember curves, pin, and just take your time stitch by stitch going around the curve. It is not a race.
Yeah, take your time, right?
Take your time.
Although she does outsew me 10 to 1, just saying.
And it's okay that it all depends on the block. And so, but like when I do my orange peels and when I did that,
we do that orange peel thing too.
When I did this quilt, here, let me get a better block that's darker. I oversized this piece right here and the background, because if it doesn't match up perfectly 1/4 inch, it's okay. Then you just take your you just size it down to what you need. And
Well, I
so,
was going to ask, can you add like when you're cutting the hang on, let me get the book so I can make better sense of what I'm asking about.
Mhm.
Or not. Here's my book.
a darker one.
Oh, here it is.
I love this quilt. I can't wait to quilt it up. It's going to be nice and fluffy.
This part right here that I was looking at, I'm going to let me turn this light back on. Okay. And then I'll spotlight so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you add like a 1/4 inch extra on that outside just to have a little?
I would.
Just to make it a little bit bigger so that when I'm sewing this part, I don't end up with it being, where you lose the 1/4 inch seam allowance. You know what I mean?
Yep, I would do that. I would on the outside go ahead and add a 1/4 inch so that even see on the left side how you have
Yeah,
two at the top. So both of them with a right angle, whatever side the right angles is on, I would add, an 1/8 to a 1/4 of an inch. It's going to stretch a little bit anyway with
you just can't add it on this side and on this side, correct?
Don't
because
add
you're going to have that curve there, correct?
Because you need that curve to fit well.
Okay, all right. But I can on these two sides.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
You can do it on both of the shapes. You can add a little bit more.
Okay.
And then, go from there.
Okay.
Yeah. But Sherry she'll help you definitely with that and instruct you. And
well, I was kind of lost, but I was also sick when I was just watching from the bed and she was explaining about the templates. Now I printed the templates out on cardstock.
Okay.
And I thought wasn't the cardstock supposed to be for tracing with or something? Not, I mean, I misunderstood that whole thing.
Well, the cardstock's going to give you a really good template so you can cut out. You can cut. So, both. But I would, cardstock's going to be your template. But even like Sherry's like a really good resource. Tasha's a really good resource. Tasha does a lot of curves. I'm getting into it, and I could sit here and sew a curve with you. We can go step by step with it too.
Okay.
So you have 3 really good resources right there, and I'm sure that there's other wonderful people on this channel that could help out too, because we all have our little tricks and trades of the world to help us. So.
See, I feel like they should have made this FPP.
Okay.
And I'm really tempted to take the pieces and put them side by side and turn it into an FPP and do the same thing with these right here. Turn that into an FPP because it makes more sense to me to do it that way than the way they're going to have you do it, which, I'm always worried about that this is going to be off. You know what I mean? But now right here you have a curve.
Yeah.
It looks like a curve when it's not. But anyway, I'm looking for the curve thing. Hang on a second. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That one's going to be interesting to do in this one too, because the way they. So there's 1, 2, 3. This circle 4. Then we got
the orange peels.
Orange peels, so that's 5.
Yeah.
6.
Have you ever done applique?
No.
Okay.
Other than what you saw me doing on,
Yeah. Okay. I'm just
asking. The first time I've done that, and I don't even know if I'm doing it properly, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to do it. And that one the only part that was not raw edge was the circle in the center. And all I did was put not fusible. Sew in. I sewed I have sewing not fusible. What is it called? Fusible
web, but I know what you're talking about.
Only it's not fusible because you have to sew it to use it. And I sewed it on the front side of the circle and put a hole and then turned it inside out. And that's what I did with that. Now I haven't done the the blanket stitch on it yet, though. Right now it has a straight stitch on the very outer, I mean, right on the edge pretty much. And I think I'll be okay with the blanket stitch. And the only reason I hadn't done the blanket stitch is because I need to get all those doors on there before I even think about putting the blanket stitch on to start with. And the doors are all going to be raw applique like the roofs are going to be.
Okay.
So, yeah. Hey there, Pony Stitcher. How are you? And
Hello,
Pony
Pennsylvania.
Stitcher's from Pennsylvania.
Well, welcome in.
And Fern King says, gotta go. Bye. I hope you get to feeling better, Fern.
Yes,
Let me look.
absolutely.
Okay, we have a couple more minutes left. How about you telling them about your channel?
Okay. Well, I am so blessed by Jess, and oh, what don't we do over there? But
You've been on a roll with your educational stuff.
yeah, which has now died down for the summer. So all the chickens and my wardrobe changes every week are died down a little bit. I'm right now working on patriotic block, which is behind this Bargello quote. You can see like different blocks, but I have videos for all of these. I like to just take a block and kind of teach you how to work through it and just think about it. Maybe a different perspective, or just we take our time and we work through each block to sew it. And we just make scrappy quilts and things like that. That's always a lot of fun. And you see the rainbow action going on. I'm actually making a Bargello quilt right now.
It looks like it's going to be like very springy, rainbowishy.
So it's Tulip Pink's 2025 collection. It's her blender package.
Oh, so that's what the blender looks like.
Yeah, so it's Tulip Pink. It's called True Colors.
Okay.
And so it was a jelly roll strip or pack. And so I picked 24 of the, is it 24 of the 42? Yeah. And we're working through them right now. And so I'm just stitching them up, and I'm going to make some videos on how to sew everything together. So you can, because if you sew in a certain way and you keep sewing on the same direction, sometimes they curve and get wonky. So I want everyone to be successful, and I take my time in flipping them back and forth and what direction I'm sewing in. But I'm going to make a dress out of this like I did before in the past. So yeah, watch for some more fun times. But I love doing shorts too. Those are fun for me.
I need to do better with shorts.
Yeah, but once you get the hang of it, and it's just like little snippets. You can take you could take a live like this, Katy, and just get little snippets of it and mash it together, and
how do you get the snippets out of it? I mean, I've gone and looked at that little thing where you're supposed to be able to clip them out, but I can't figure out how to do it. Do you download the whole video? What do you do? Download the whole video and then do it, or?
You could download the video and just take little sections of it that you copy little sections out, and then you can paste it back into a program, smash it all together. I tend not to want to do anything over like 30 seconds.
Yeah, you sound like Sean on that one.
Yeah, when it comes to a short, because everyone's the time span that people are just flipping when they get to a certain point. So you got to keep it engaging and active. But mine are anywhere between 17 and 28 seconds, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I try.
I know I have some pre-records from the airport thing that I need to finish editing, so that I can set them up to be playing while we're flying. I was going to put them out, and then I thought, well, I'll just save them for then. People are not going to care when they watch them anyway. So was going to do that.
Yeah, and just set them up first. Schedule them out, and it gives people things to watch while you're traveling and going around, and we don't have as much contact with you at the moment.
Yeah, because the 21st is on a Saturday, isn't it?
I believe so.
And normally I have a Saturday live, but we're going to be in the air.
Yeah.
And time is going to change real fast while we're in the air. Hang on a second. I think it's on a Saturday. No, it's on a Wait, no, we're flying on a Sunday.
flying on a Sunday. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why all these lives are going to be crammed into the first 2 weeks in June.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, because I have that socialites to deal with. We got that, and then we got peace of mind. I want to deal with that one. There's some things I just want to get done before I leave, so they're not hanging in the wind, you know.
Yeah. And then we'll be on our toes looking at you when you come back going, tell us everything.
I can't wait because Kevin from Tuber Chat made a comment on my Instagram. He says, I can't wait to see what all you and your husband come up with for footage. And and an interesting thing today, I got to talking to Torben, and Torben and Ellie are the couple that own the boat that invite me out to go sailing, where we go out in the middle of nowhere. And so Torben has been building a new shrimping boat. He has a shrimping company, but it's a small shrimp company. And so for the last year, they've been building him a new ship that has an iron, the bottom half of the boat is made like what Nikolai lives on. But it's not big like Nikolai's ship. It's I think it's a less than 60 meters is what it is long, but it's bigger than what he had. And so it's sitting in dry dock. Well, I think it's sitting in the water actually, and they're still working on it in Denmark. And so we are flying on the 21st, and he said that they were going to be in Denmark on the 30th to go back to where the ship is at. And when I told him we were going to go to Billund after we leave Fano, he's like, well, we're just outside of there with the boat. And I said, you know what? Hey, I realized, me and Nikolai can come see the new little boat or ship, and we can video that whole dang thing. Because it's new. It's going to be called Bingo 3. It'll be number 3 of Torben's bingos. So that'll be great. And I'll get because I've never been on any of his bingos. I've seen him sitting in port during the icy months, because it had a wooden hole on it and you can't go through the ice with that. And so I've seen it, but I've never been on it. Now I've seen them building their gear for it, because he has a warehouse right next to the harbor, and him and Ellie are always making new gear. And so we've sat for hours, me and Nikolai, talking to them while they're working on their gear. And Nikolai and Torben have a lot in common, because both of them have been fishing their whole life. So and when I mentioned it, he's like, yeah, you know what? You guys could come over and see it. And so I think we're going to do that, I think.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So it'll be another real treat for you guys. See a new boat before it hits the long seas. Because Nikolai called me and he told me that Torben had contacted him and asked when he was going back to sea, because Torben needed someone to sail the boat from Denmark to here that had the right paperwork. And because the boat that they had was a little bit smaller than this one, so the guidelines for a skipper and the paperwork is slightly different. And Tony don't have enough. Tony is his son, and Tony pretty much does all the work now, and Torben takes care of stuff here at home, getting gears made and everything else, because he's going to turn his business over to Tony at some point. It's a family-owned kind of business. So so Tony don't have enough licenses to be driving a little bit bigger on open sea, is what it is.
Okay.
And so he wanted to see if Nikolai could do it. And but he doesn't know the exact finish date of when the ship is. And I told him, I said, Nikolai gets off the boat, his boat, on the 30th. And who knows, maybe you're because there's going to be a delay. He already knows there's a delay going to happen. It may end up working out where Nikolai can still help. Whoever knows, So we'll have to wait and see, because whoever it is he's got to hire has to have the right paperwork. And Nikolai just happens to have it. So
it happens to be, So if everything works out, that would be wonderful. Yes.
Yeah, that would. Mr. Captain Nemo will be here.
Hi, Captain.
It'll be funny. He'll be in his side. It's interesting because it makes me want to sail with him, but I don't know if I can sit on that small boat the first time the ocean gets too rough. I'll be over there puking my guts up, you know.
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that.
All right, you guys, it's that time. Jess, thank you for hanging out with me tonight.
It's my
And
pleasure.
I'm excited about tomorrow. Make sure you get some food and all that tonight and some rest. And I'll see you on Williams later tonight. And everybody else, thank you for coming to the live. Remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. What do you do with that? You either make something beautiful, or you take care of a dog, or you go do something beautiful for someone else so that you can put a smile on their face, because you never know, it might change their whole world. So see you guys on the next live. Nighty night. I know, little one. I hear you.
Baby girl, baby girl. Yeah.
Wow. What? Really?